wingam.com.
You would have ate.
That would have been me, Janae and Golick Jr.
Let's do it.
We're all jacked up. We're ready to go. All in all, you're feeling pretty good right now. You're charged up.
Completely.
Janae and Golick Jr. Weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
All right, everybody, welcome in. It is the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. How are all of you? Hope you're having a great day. I literally just made it in the building like 3 minutes before showtime.
Okay,
out of breath. I sprinted up the stairs. That's like the biggest run. I got Florida coming up in a month, man. If I keep running up them stairs like that, I'm going to be a sexy beast when I head to Florida here soon. I tell you what, I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash, hanging out with you here this afternoon on a Tuesday. Plenty to get into here today. How about Governor DeWine making the announcement that we will be able to move forward with high school football, contact and non-contact sports. Of course, there are going to be a lot of, extra rules that go into this. It's obviously going to look different. So there is that. So consider that moving forward. We're going to discuss that in a moment. The unwritten rules in baseball, it continues to amaze me that we have literally professional athletes apologizing for basically doing their job, and we have to feel sorry for guys who can't do their job. So we're going to get to that coming up around the corner as well. How about Space Jam 2? We're going to get to that. Again, they revealed what the jerseys are going to look like in Space Jam. Are you a big Space Jam guy?
Absolutely.
Back then, the second best player of all time. Now the greatest player of all time, LeBron, leading the way for the
Hold on. Last week we had a conversation about remakes. And reboots, and you were all against the Fresh Prince reboot, but you're all of a sudden all about the reboot.
Oh, I think that no.
Space Jam.
Who said I was going to be all about it? I just said that this Space Jam had the best player of all time, and LeBron James leading the way. That's all. By the way, I think it's really stupid that you're going to have Space Jam with cartoon characters from a different era. Like, do kids today even follow Bugs Bunny and the Tasmanian Devil? And, you know what I mean?
Is it really for kids? It's for kids?
It was, why put cartoons in it? If it's not for kids, they better have Beavis and Butthead and some of them guys in there.
I'm going to go see it. I'm
definitely going to go see it. But to be honest, it makes it a little better when you have kids that when you go sit in the movie theater, you at least have an excuse as to why.
I got a nephew, sitting, man.
So there's that.
My nephew's 5. We're going.
All right. Let's open up with and by the way, there's plenty of ways you can be involved in the show. You can call the show at 457-9464. You can watch us live. We are live on Facebook. Search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook. Of course, we're live on YouTube as well, the ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. We're live on Twitter as well. Of course, live on 1410 Wing AM and live on the stream at wingam.com. No excuse not to be hanging out with us daily. Here, we're going to get into some Reds talk around the corner, but I want to open up with this. To no surprise, Governor DeWine announces that he has approved contact sports moving forward. So we will have a high school football season as of right now. Because, a lot's going to change. Will we kick off? Will high school football kick off? Do you think it's going to kick off? There's nothing standing in its way right now other than COVID, and it's not a little thing. I'm just really curious if, who's next as far as the decision maker to pull the plug. There's no Kevin Warren of high school football right now. I haven't read the article yet from Governor DeWine about the restart of high school football, but what's the start date? What are we looking at? So that's going to be coming up on the 28th, I believe. It was the same start. It was so they're keeping it. So, yes, it will start. October 9th, I believe, is when the playoffs will start. Again, it's only a 6-week regular season. You can play up to 10 regular season games. So with that being said, so there's a lot of teams that can do, like you don't even have to play any regular season games. You could just play your playoff game. Not that anyone's going to want to do that or do that. You could play up to 10. So you could play 6 regular season games, get beat in week 7 in the first round of the playoffs, and then turn right back around and play a couple more games after that. I don't anticipate schools doing that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of weird options that they have
Anything's possible
as far as this point. So if that's the case, so Trotwood pulled the plug on their season, 6-game regular season. Could they just have prepared for 6 weeks for that one play? I mean, that's the thing. Once you get into the playoffs, I wish Trotwood would have done that. They're defending state champions. Whew. I mean, you would have had to, that's quite they would have literally had to commit to practicing for 6 weeks with no games, right? But I mean, my goodness, why couldn't they? And why couldn't they? Why wouldn't they? I mean, you might as well not. They may not be starting to practice right now, but you can start practicing here in a few weeks. Week 1,
they have a month and a half,
6 weeks of practice. Your first game is a playoff game, and I mean, they could be the first team ever to win a state championship and not win a game in the regular season. How about that? Come on, Trotwood, let's get on it. I'm not surprised today at all that, of course, that announcement was made, but this is where I see I feel bad for the schools in this situation because, like everything else in the world, we don't have set answers, and Governor DeWine, I believe, is afraid to make any kind of set decision on anything. Well, your family and close to family can go to games. Well, you know what? These are small communities. It's going to be real interesting to see how tight-knit everyone gets right now. I think opening that door, that's a problem that's not going to face DeWine. That's going to be our local schools that are going to have to face that problem. What do you mean I can't go? I'm like a father to him. I'm like a mother to that kid. I think that's leaving the door open to some problems.
I've been babysitting him for years.
I've known him since he was wee high. I mean, you're going to get a lot of that. It's going to be funny how large, big. And by the way, you're going to still have sold out games up north in the MAC area, the big ass Catholic families. You mean to tell me they have 85 kids? You're going to have sold out on both sides trying to fit all them big Catholic families in there, man. I'm telling you right now, that's the only problem. I didn't really have a problem with anything, but the only problem I see that is developing right now is that. Is how are you going to monitor who gets into games and who doesn't? Who's going to get the tickets? I have heard nothing about that. I know that there is an interesting approach to how some of these schools are handling their tickets and everything, but how do you monitor that? And how are who's going to be the one that steps up and says, all right, listen, you're a family friend, but I don't think what's the line of how close you have to be to a family to be able to attend a game?
Everything's so vague.
Yep. I think I liked what they did back with basketball. Again, I'm for people going to games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not for the door being open to some drama and some issues that it's unneeded right now. With everything going on in the world, the last thing athletic directors and schools need is the drama of they have to decide who gets into a game and who doesn't at this point. So that's all. That would be my only concern as far as that goes. But I wish they would have did what they did with high school basketball back, but before they ultimately pulled the plug for good. I think it was like 5. I think they were allowed to bring up to 5 family members each or whatever it was to the tournament games.
To the tournament games, yeah.
So that would have been interesting had they gone that route. But nonetheless, I'm just curious how much drama is going to come from all of this. What concerns do you have as far as that? You say we kick off on time. I think we kick off on time as well. But keeping it, we're seeing in colleges right now, the outbreak among schools once kids get on campus. Obviously, high school and elementary is all different than college, but when you get groups of kids together, that's where it's really going to get interesting as far as that goes.
I still think they kick off on time, but that first week of school, just like we saw in Indiana and Georgia and North Carolina, after that first week, when all those cases start popping up, that's when we're going to have trouble continuing to play sports, continuing to even go to school.
All right, 457-9464. Your reaction to, of course, Governor DeWine announcing that we can move forward with contact and non-contact sports. And of course, there's going to be some restrictions there. It's going to be limited fans in the stands. I don't know about you. What were your expectations as far as how many fans did you expect to be at these games coming in? Because I was thinking they were just going to say, fine, you can play, but no fans in the stands, or maybe the close-knit family only. They are allowing more people in than I thought they were originally going to.
I thought they were only going to do 2 per student.
Only 2?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Brothers, and why would, if you're going to do 2, you might as well do none. So 5 made more sense to me.
5? That adds up so quick.
That's not how it was viewed back when basketball season was here. When basketball season was here, they did 5, and everyone lost their mind saying, well, what do you do if you have 6 brothers and sisters? Well, pick the favorites.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that difficult. All right, let's go to the phones. 457-9464. Dickie, how are you, buddy?
Hi, Justin. Hi, how are you?
Good. What are you doing?
Oh, not much. Just getting ready for the store meeting Sunday.
You gotta be prepared.
Yeah, I've been off for a couple of days. I had to take a rest. I told you lumber's pretty busy there.
Oh my goodness! What do you exactly do?
Well, I'm actually called the head loader. What I get shopping carts, I get the blue carts, and I work all over the store. You know, I help people back and forth and pick orders out of the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Jack of all trades.
I mean, that's what you got to be. You got to be flexible. That's how you stay employed.
Yeah. Hey, what's the story? I just was wondering. You know, we haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
When are the Reds going to start back up?
So the Reds will play. They are off tonight. They were supposed to start a series with the Royals tonight, and they went ahead and postponed that game till tomorrow, just as an extra precaution. The Reds will play a 7-inning, 2 7-inning doubleheaders beginning tomorrow. 5:10 will be the first pitch. So we'll have a half a show tomorrow, but 2 games for the Reds tomorrow, and they'll be back in action. So that's actually a good thing. We've seen other teams who have had positive tests lead to weeks on end, without games. The Reds have missed 3. I think that they're in pretty good shape.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, have you heard anything more about Ohio State?
Nothing more than what we've been hearing. I mean, the rumor mill is running full speed as of late.
They're not going to have the season, right?
No, I mean, the plug's been pulled. I mean, I know Justin Fields is working hard with that petition that he put out there, over 240,000 plus signatures, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think that there was a reason that decision was made, and I don't think some names on a paper are going to change that.
Well, how about pro football? We'll have that, won't we?
I don't see why not at this point. I mean, if you're the NFL and every other pro sport's getting off the ground, there's no way they shouldn't be able to.
No, I think, do you guys predict the Browns to have a good year?
Well, they better. They have no choice.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping they do, What about the Cavaliers? You think they'll be good?
I mean, I don't even know when the NBA is going to tip off again. And no, I do not think they're going to be good. Look, that team cannot figure it out. If LeBron's not on that roster, they don't know how to win games. It's crazy.
That's what I was, I know, and everything. Yeah, I agree with you. The Indians are starting to gel a little bit, aren't they?
Well, I mean, that pitching staff took a huge hit when they moved Plesac and Clevenger off their roster for a bit. So we'll see.
They did.
They moved themselves off the roster.
So. Yeah, no kidding. Their selfish decisions put them in that position.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something. We have our store meeting. Sunday. I get to play some music.
You get to play the old banjo, huh?
Yeah. We, people are still scared. You know what I mean? But we had 12 of us there last night. When everything gets back to normal, they'll start coming here at us.
Oh yeah, keep playing that banjo. They'll keep coming back. Hey, Dickie, anything else, man? We got to keep moving.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to talk to you guys.
As always great hearing from you, man. You take care.
Okay, take care, okay?
Adios.
Later.
Adios. Bye-bye.
All right, 457-9464. That's the number to call in and join in on the conversation. Of course, you can also reach out on Facebook and leave your notes in the comments section below. But yes, high school football. It looks like we are officially going to get that here in the Miami Valley. And right now, we need all the football we can get with no Buckeye football, potentially no college football. I mean, to at least get a 6-game regular season for high school and obviously hopefully get the NFL. That football void, it may not be as drastic as we once thought it was. I mean, maybe the biggest Buckeye fans in the world don't believe me on that, but there will be football in some fashion, and that is all that matters. Good news for college basketball. That we'll talk about that coming up around the corner. Coach K was on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin this morning, and a fantastic interview they did with him. That was about as open of an interview I've heard Coach K do in quite some time. Had a lot of interesting things to say regarding the future of college basketball, including the mistakes of college football are going to help college basketball. We'll discuss that coming up around the corner as well. I talked about the Reds doubleheader tomorrow. We'll get into some of that. Space Jam, and then, of course, the unwritten rules in baseball. All of that coming up. Don't go anywhere. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash when we come back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 79 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy down to a low of 55. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 81. I'm Leanna Ray for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Not so long ago, lots of things made people happy.
I used to love going to the gym.
I miss saying good morning to my coworkers.
Today, there are still things that can make people happy.
Oh, Oh, how pretty.
A beautiful bouquet of flowers will definitely make someone happy.
First Florist and Greenhouses can help you make someone happy. Go to firsttheflorist.com, choose a bouquet, and they'll deliver it safely. Make someone happy with First Florist and Greenhouses.
Hey, it's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract. Full court coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oil change coming up? We can help you out. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And if you need it fast, we can help you get it fast. Whether it's at home with our next day delivery or in store and curbside with our free same day pickup. The choice is yours. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference, like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at the Mopar Service Center at your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With our award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you and your family and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh and never frozen. And so big, you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. For a beautiful deck you'll love for years, use Cabot Premium Exterior Wood Stains and Finishes. It's guaranteed to bring out the natural beauty of your wood projects. Right now, all Cabot Wood Care products are 11% off. Start saving today with 11% off everything. Prices are good until August 22nd. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Buckeye Ford in Sydney, home of the Works Package and the Double Take Tire Specials. Call today for your appointment, 937-419-8473 or 1-800-700-0050. Buckeye Ford in Sydney, exit 92 off of I-75. We'll see you soon.
Summertime is the perfect time for family fun. And for a family meal that's easy as a breeze, stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and pick up a 10-piece breast strip meal for only $19.99. With Lee's, homestyle can happen anywhere with 10 golden brown breast strips, 2 large sides, and 5 fluffy biscuits. It's the easy way to turn up the heat this summer. Get a sit-down meal made easy with our 10-piece breast strip meal for only $19.99. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Hey Dayton, this is Blake Maislin, your favorite injury attorney. 444-4444. It's getting a little warmer out there, so be careful. Be a little slower on the road, not a little faster. Watch out for motorcycles, look out for the big trucks. But if something does happen to you, I'm here. I will help you put it all back together.
Blake Maislin.
Work at home, work out at home, second period math at home, date night at home. Lately, we're doing a lot more at home, which means we're doing a lot less driving. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, You get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price also includes a daily rate, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, couch surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
School goes on. Staples has everything to start the year right, no matter where school happens, and all at amazing prices. School on, save on at Staples.
Follow ESPN 1410 Wing AM on Facebook to watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Listen, stream, and now watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, everybody, we are back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on a Tuesday. Hope all of you have had a great day. Appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us here this afternoon. So as I mentioned, of course, Governor DeWine making the announcement that contact and non-contact sports can resume moving forward. Obviously, there'll be some restrictions, and a lot of that has to do with live attendance, crowds, and all that type of stuff. And I don't think that's a surprise anymore. I think the reason you're not seeing as big a reaction to that now is because I think it was expected back in March when Rona was fairly new, and of course they were making slashing the boys and girls basketball tournament and trying to say that you can go for, when you go to the Shot and you go to the state tournament, or whether it's at St. John's Arena or the Shot, I mean, full crowds. I mean, it may not always be sold out, but the atmosphere there is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So to go from expecting that to, okay, well, each player can maybe have 5 fans in attendance, that totally just shocked a lot of people. And it was a big, reaction. This year, I think people are just grateful at all that there'll be any fans being able to go to games. And I think that's why you're seeing a little bit of a different reaction. But keep in mind, with that being said, the NFL looks like it's going to kick off on time. And that's scattered all over. It's been left up to every individual team whether or not they're going to actually have fans in the stands. The Browns have yet, I don't think they've been an official announcement. Reports as of yesterday said that they're going to most likely be letting fans in the stands in some capacity. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys were getting a lot of heat yesterday for announcing the same thing. Of course, in Texas, it's a hot spot over there, so people are fired up about that. But I'm very confident that the football season will kick off, obviously, for both. And again, you could say, well, yeah, of course high school is going to kick off. Governor DeWine just gave the thumbs up. But I don't believe that's yes, he gave the thumbs up, but obviously sports go as COVID goes at this point. So as of right now, it seems like there's a good shot that it's going to kick off on time. Chris Miller on Facebook says, I'm not convinced yet that the NFL will happen. Chris, why do you, what reason behind that? Obviously the easy answer being, of course, COVID. But I'm curious your thoughts with a little bit more behind it. I think that the NFL will definitely happen, mainly because because Major League Baseball is happening, and they're not in a bubble, and they are poorly ran. You don't have to like Roger Goodell in the way that he runs the NFL, but I think he is one of the more buttoned up, commissioners out there as far as making sure that they have answers for everything from being able to pull off the season standpoint. The NBA, of course, did it. The NHL's doing it. Major League Soccer already crowned their champion. There is no way that the NFL is going to be the only professional sport that can't get off the ground during this. There's just no way. Their egos will not allow it. Roger Goodell will not allow it. So, Chris, I don't see how they couldn't have a season at this point unless they were told, no, it's too dangerous for you to play. The NFL has been steadfast on making sure there's a season, even going back to when there were less answers and more concerns. So, to me, I think the NFL definitely does happen. All right, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kevin Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. We can take your reaction on the side. Again, when you comment underneath on Facebook, you can comment in there, and we'll drag it in, of course, and get your reaction, or take your calls at 457-9464. So as I mentioned a little bit ago, the Cincinnati Reds, of course, over the weekend, they got a win over the Pirates on Friday night. And then, of course, they come off the field and they look, happy. Everyone's high-fiving, which you shouldn't be, but they're high-fiving. But then there was a weird situation where, and we still don't know which player for the Reds tested positive. I think you can kind of put some pieces together and kind of figure it out a little bit. But, Nick Senzel comes running off the field, and they have a bench coach in the dugout that runs out and kind of shields him off and takes him off separately. You could see the frustration on his face. Reports after the game, of course, come out that yes, a Reds player tested positive. Still some confusion as to whether that was a false positive or not, because reports continue to come out over the last couple of days that there have been 0 positive tests out of Reds camp, since that day. So I don't know if they mean 0 positive tests for everybody else, or 0 additional positive tests, or if they mean every test has come back negative over the weekend. So does that mean that there was a false positive on Friday? That's been the one thing about the reporting that we have yet to be able to figure out. But the bottom line is tonight they were supposed to play against the Royals. They did fly to Kansas City today, but we got the announcement earlier this afternoon that they postponed tonight's game to tomorrow. The Reds will be in a doubleheader. I think that's great news considering most teams, of course, have had the plug kind of pulled for a week or at the most, too. But again, some people still frustrated. If there's 0 positive tests, why are we postponing games? Major League Baseball just trying to be cautious with this one, and I don't blame them. As long as they're not calling off for a week with a bunch of 0 positive tests, I have no problem that they're at least pushing it back one more day to tomorrow. And the Reds benefit from doubleheaders, less bullpen. And I will acknowledge that the bullpen has pitched better as of late. But again, you're going to have Trevor Bauer and Luis Castillo going back-to-back tomorrow in a 14-inning combined 7-inning doubleheader game. I like the Reds' chances in that. They can come away with 2 more wins tomorrow, and that's huge confidence-wise for the Reds.
That's big time for them, man. And you're not a big fan of the 7-inning thing, but this helps the Reds when their pitching staff is playing better, especially their starters. They don't have to go to that bullpen and everything like that. And also something everybody has to keep in mind, man, with COVID-19, we have to be flexible.
Yep.
We have to be flexible. With the Cardinals, people were shut down for weeks. Now it's about 3, 4, 5 days. So we're getting better. We're understanding things better. We're understanding how to react to this outbreak on a potential outbreak on the team a lot better than we were the first go around. So this is a good thing.
All right, 457-9464. I'm curious, too, as we've moved on, again, with more of these doubleheaders, the 7-inning doubleheaders. Do Reds fans like the doubleheaders? I believe that that really does benefit the Reds as far as that's concerned. When you're shrinking the game down to 7 innings, if you can get at least 6 innings from Trevor Bauer, at least 6 innings from Luis Castillo. And let's be honest, we both know that they are both capable of going that deep into the ball game. My concern is David Bell going to do one of those where, okay, well, we don't need you to go 6 in a 7-inning game. I just need you to go 4 and I hope that he does not go that route, because after tomorrow's doubleheader, you start resuming regular games back to 9. What are you saving them for? Make sure you get out there, limit the use of the bullpen. Yes, you could sit there and say, well, they've played great as of late. I think it's like, I forgot how many straight shutout innings the bullpen has had, but regardless, doesn't mean you test their luck. I mean, take advantage of the fact that, yes, that they've had some great outings as of late. But again, I don't want to continue to put them out there more than you have to, especially when you got guys like Trevor Bauer and Luis Castillo who can go deep into ball games. But one more time, the Cincinnati Reds will be in action coming up tomorrow. Again, it'll be a half a show for us. 5:05 will be the first pitch for the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow, and it'll be a 4:35 pregame. But yeah, I think that the Reds are going to benefit greatly from, of course, playing in these double headers, and picking up a couple wins tomorrow would be key. Keep in mind, the last time the Reds played in the very first ever doubleheader for Major League, or first ever doubleheader, the first ever 7-inning doubleheader a few weeks ago. I believe it was against the Tigers, and Joey Votto, of course, was out, missed both games, and they got 2 wins on that day. And I believe the Reds are capable of getting 2 wins tomorrow as well. Let's go to the phones. We got Charlie waiting on us. What's up, Charlie? How are you, man?
I'm all right, Justin. Hey, thanks for the well wishes on the plumber. I got a guy.
You got a guy. That's all that matters. You got a guy.
I appreciate I was gonna call DoorDash, try to get you over there, and then see if you can operate a monkey wrench. But
I tell you what, I got some big thing. I got to make sure I do that DoorDash. So if I ever have plumbing issues, I have enough money to be able to fix that right away. I tell you what. But now, where do you live by? Like, what part of Dayton?
I live right down the street from you guys, man. I live right off of Ron Road.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I only dash in a 2 to 3 mile radius. So there is a chance that one of these times it could be me pulling up in your driveway. Well, maybe, or the hotel, wherever you're at,
Hey, I'll just keep calling, man.
There you go. All right, man. What's up? What you got for us?
Well, look, if the Reds are going to keep playing 500, it seems like it's a dragon. It's just been dragging from last year into this year, all this good talent. We have to keep watching 500 ball. Why don't they just play double headers for the next 2 weeks and get the season over with? Because it's the saddest thing. It's worse than, like, the Bengals last year. It's like, okay, they went 2-14. We had a crappy team, right? You know this as a Browns fan. How sufferable was last year for you? Because you had good talent.
Well, let's be honest. The best part of the season was the opening drive against the Titans. They literally just marched it right down the field and punched the Titans in the mouth, and I'm being as cocky and arrogant as ever. And then reality sunk in, and I think they remembered that they were the Cleveland Browns. So it was a very long 16-game regular season. However, there was that one high of Myles Garrett swinging a helmet. Of course, a
couple highs. Yeah. They beat the Ravens.
You guys
that's right.
smashed the Ravens. They smashed the Ravens.
We're going to be smashing them in week 1, too.
Dude, that's the kind of talent that is on that team, and it's the same for the Reds. It's mind-numbing. And I'm like, you know what? We're a third of the way through the season, right? So if we play double headers for the next 2 weeks, we'll just knock it out. We're done. And then that way, we don't have to use our bullpen. We just play our starters and then play our closers. And maybe we win 10 games. We'll just keep going 500, and maybe since they're letting 16 teams in the playoffs, we'll get in the playoffs.
Well, and look, I think they're good enough to make the playoffs even without the doubleheaders. But keep in mind, you can't just decide that you want to do doubleheaders. And if anything, like, here's my frustration. The Cardinals had self-inflicted, COVID issues. You had players that kind of stepped out. They went to the casino and all that, and then they ended up missing 15 games. And I checked that, I'm looking at the standings now. The Cardinals are 5-5, so they've made up 5 games quickly. But they're 5. They were 3-2, of course, when the Reds had played their 20th game, and the Cardinals were 3-2 before they played their next one. But my thing is okay, all the double headers, all the 7-inning games like that, like the Cardinals are getting bailed out. They're playing 7 innings while the Reds are having to play 6. I mean, let's say that there's teams that maybe won't have to have a doubleheader all season. So whatever teams those are, or even if the Reds, like let's say tomorrow's their last doubleheader, they would have only had to play 2 or 4 total 7-inning games, while the Cardinals get to play 15 7-inning games. I think that's a big difference. To me, that's very strange that the Cardinals, if they end up making the playoffs, I'm going to be like, yes, it's probably because they're good, but 2, when you only have to play 7 innings every night while everyone else is playing 9, that's a pretty good advantage if you ask me.
Justin, didn't the Cardinals just play in the NLCS last year?
Yeah, but they don't need any more help.
Who are the St. Louis Cardinals? They are the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are just a better ran organization. And if it bounces their way, that's fine. Because
Hold on. That's not fair. They still have to earn the right to make the playoffs, and if they're not playing as many innings as everybody else consistently, a couple games here, a couple games there because of COVID, we have to be flexible. I just said that. Yeah, that's cool. But if they're say 30% of their games are 7-inning games, that's not fair at all.
But Kev, you're a Steelers fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Steelers have been good since 1970.
Yeah.
Why? Because they take advantage of opportunities.
But there's like last season, they were 8-8. They didn't make the playoffs. They didn't deserve to make the playoffs because they didn't earn the right to be in the playoffs because they didn't win enough games. That's not fair for the Cardinals to like Justin said, with basically self-inflicted wounds. These aren't situations where, oh man, he caught COVID just because he caught COVID, just, going to the grocery store or something like that. They were out kicking it, hanging out, having a good time at the bar and caught COVID. And then they got their franchise shut down for weeks.
Yeah, and then they're getting bailed out with 7-inning games.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
And keep this in mind, Charlie. Like, if the Reds, what would the Reds' record be right now if they only had to play 7 innings every night? How many games have they lost to the 8th and 9th inning due to that bullpen? So I guess that's where I'm kind of pointing at. But to your point, Charlie, you're saying, hey, the Cardinals probably aren't going to blow as many games in the 8th and 9th inning like the Reds because of the Cardinals. So I see your point as well.
Well, hold on here. If all things are fair, and I'm a Reds fan, all right, I love the Reds. It gets I'm irritated, obviously.
They do that to people, man. They do that.
Okay, so if we're calling things fair, not fair, are we 5-time World Series champions or are we really 4-time? You know what I mean? Like the 1919 World Series, we didn't really win that. But, I mean, we claim it. So if the Cardinals have to play a bunch of half games or 7-inning games and somehow end up winning the World Series, hey, they won the World Series.
No kidding. Hey, but Charlie, we're out of time, man. Thanks so much.
All right, I'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Take care. Man. All right, 457-9464. That's the biggest problem I have is when I'm beginning. I'm thinking of the Reds tomorrow playing in this bet, in the doubleheader, but both 7-inning games. That's great for the Reds. If the Reds played if every game in the 2020 COVID season was 7-inning games, the Reds would be in first place in this division right now. They're 9-11, 20 games in. They're 4.5 games back. The Chicago Cubs are 14-7. They're kicking ass. I have nothing negative to say about the Cubs. I give them credit. They lose Madden. Obviously, and they bring in a new manager, of course, a former player, and they're just rolling right now. So good for them.
Steamrolling people.
But the Cardinals, they got bailed out. I'm not saying the Cardinals are a bad team, but I promise you, if they end up making the playoffs because they make up these games quickly and get a bunch of wins, it's easier to win in 7 than it is in 9. A lot can happen in those back innings, and that's my problem. The Cardinals are getting bailed out. 15 7-inning games. The Reds have played 20 games, and only 2 of those have been 7 innings. And the 15 of the first 20 for the Cardinals are 7 innings. I'm not a big fan of that. All right, I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. It is the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. All right, here's the deal. So Chris Cunningham on Facebook, I can't pull it up because he commented on a shared post. But if you comment within the actual live video feed on the Justin Kinner Show page, we'll be able to pull your comments into the show. But Chris Cunningham says, so high school and pro sports can play, but no Big Ten football. WTF. We're going to address that when we come back because this was the concern we had. And when we had Tim Street on the show last week with the OHSAA, I asked him, are there concerns about the perception of no Ohio State football, but these 16, 17, 18-year-old kids can go out on a football field and play the game that apparently is too dangerous for Ohio State to play out on? We're going to discuss that when we come back. 457-9464. And your reaction on Facebook. Don't go anywhere.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Got a project to do? Use the right equipment and rent from Arts Rental Equipment. With over 50 years experience, Arts has the best selection, delivery, and service, plus 14 Arts locations. Work smart. Rent from Arts.
Redbox has top entertainment with new movies and big hits. And now they're giving you a chance to win big money. Enter the Redbox 15K Summer Sweepstakes. Rent or buy any Sony movie now through August 24th, and you could win the $15,000 grand prize. Rent Jumanji: The Next Level, Little Women, Bad Boys for Life, and other Sony movies at redbox.com/15K sweeps. Make it a movie night, and you could win big with Redbox. No purchase necessary. Must be at least 18 years old and a U.S. resident. For official rules and to learn more, including how to enter for free via email, visit redbox.com/15K sweeps.
Getting to work is a little different right now. Your new commute may be to the kitchen, or the couch, or the basement. If your commute has changed, you could be saving money on car insurance. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price also includes a daily rate, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Hey, this is Joseph Newgarden. As a two-time IndyCar Series champion, I love that we're all getting back in our cars and back on the road, stopping at all the places we missed most. And to keep us going between those stops, there's Shell. Stop in to fill up with their best fuel ever. Save with the Fuel Rewards program. And to get snacks and essentials that can save you even more at the pump. That's just a few of the ways Shell helps you make the most of the stop you need to make. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
It's a new season, and it's Sport Clips haircuts. All of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
And you be stepping out like a pro.
There are people who say things aren't made here anymore. Those people should make a trip to Michigan or Kentucky or Illinois, where you'll find our workers and dealers and engineers and technicians building at the Ford Motor Company, the same way we have for over a century, in the same place, for the same reason. Built for America.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
It's Danielle for CertaPro Painters. You know, I've used CertaPro Painters for pretty much everything that requires paint. And most recently, we had our entire house painted. And I mean the entire house. Gutters, shutters, windowsills, siding, and even the brick. Yes, everything. Talk about a phenomenal job. Exterior painting is the most effective way of boosting the curb appeal of your house. And our curb appeal, well, it went up to 100 plus. CertaPro painters really are amazing. They know how to get the job done right and paint a wide variety of surfaces, including stucco, vinyl siding, aluminum, brick, shutters, doors, windows, and trim. They do interior, exterior, residential, commercial, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in your local community. You can schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Check them out now and get the job done right. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
If you're a man aged 45 to 80 with a history of heart disease or stroke, please listen closely to this message. Some men with a history of heart disease or stroke also have low testosterone levels, also known as hypogonadism. Symptoms of low testosterone, hypogonadism, include decreased sexual desire, fatigue, depressed mood, and loss of body hair. If you've had a heart attack or stroke in the past and experienced the symptoms of low testosterone, hypogonadism, please consider our research study that is underway in Dayton. Qualified participants may receive testosterone replacement therapy or placebo and study-related care at no cost, as well as compensation for their time. Please call now to speak with the research study coordinator. Dial 937-506-6100. The number again is 937-506-6100. That's 937-506-6100.
It's the summer clearance event at New Carlisle Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At New Carlisle, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com where you can complete all aspects of the vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
Contractors, use the right equipment for your project and rent from Arts Rental Equipment. No storage, no maintenance, no hassle. 14 Arts locations and online at artsrental.com. Work smart. Rent from Arts.
School goes on. Staples has everything to start the year right, no matter where school happens, and all at amazing prices. School on, save on at Staples.
ESPN Dayton's fan hotline, 937-210-9676. Something on your mind? Let us know. Leave a voicemail or text us your hot sports take. All takes will be heard weekday afternoons on the Justin Kinner Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Save 937-210-9676 in your phone. It's the ESPN Dayton fan hotline. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Back to the famous WING studios. Here's Justin Kinner and Kev Nash.
All right, and we are back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Kev, I don't know if you could see, but I'm pulling this up. Again, we're live on Facebook, so I'm putting this up for everyone to see. So ESPN today on Twitter put out, which jersey do you prefer, Space Jam 2 or the original? And again, it's LeBron and MJ, both sporting their Toon Squad jerseys. And I'm not going to lie, if the question is which of the two players is better, I have the unpopular answer of me always saying LeBron. But of the two jerseys, I'm all about the original Space Jam. I don't think that LeBron's Space Jam will not top the original Space Jam. It just won't. Like, there's just no way. For one, I don't see how that's going to work. How are you going to you're going to remake Space Jam? Like, if what they should have done was use modern cartoons, use SpongeBob. I want to see SpongeBob's ass out there running up and down with LeBron. We don't need to see Bugs Bunny running up and down with LeBron. Lola or whatever the hell their bunny's name is.
You know what? I don't think I've seen Lola since I saw the original Space Jam.
Was she even a real Looney Tune? Or was she just made for that, I believe. But nothing else.
I've never seen her since.
All right. Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
Tweety Bird.
Yeah.
On that, but you want all of them in this.
Absolutely.
This one, not me. Even though I would recognize, but I'm like, how? I mean, are you going to put out a cartoon movie for grown men, for grown adults, not just men, but grown adults? You're going to put out a cartoon movie for grown adults. That's fine. Or you could put out a cartoon type movie with LeBron James for younger fans. So it's up on, go to Facebook and comment in the section below which one is better. So you see it right now on Facebook. Which jersey do you prefer, the Space Jam 2 or the original jersey? LeBron has that like powder blue, again with like a half of that Toon Squad little tunnel that's kind of wrapped around. I'm not a big fan of the new Toon Squad jerseys. I like the original, the MJ Toon Squad jersey. So head to Facebook, comments below, and again, all comments puts you in position to win a $25 Skyline Chili gift card that will be given away at the end of the week. The only way you can win is by, of course, commenting in the comment section on the live feed, of course, on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the moment. But I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm all about the original. I don't like change.
I like the OG one better as well.
And you're breaking the. You got to comment on the Justin Kinner Show.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Well, then I don't know what the heck this thing's doing. This thing is not pulling in.
Did I comment?
Yeah. See. Yeah. You gotta go to the Justin Kinner Show and comment in there.
Technology.
Technology. It's okay. We just all can't figure it out at one time. But go to Facebook, the Justin Kinner Show. One more time, I'll pull it up for everyone to take a look real quick. Which jersey do you prefer, Space Jam 2 or the original? Leave it in there. All right, we've talked Reds. We talked about Governor DeWine's announcement, of course, that there's going to be high school football coming up this fall. And, of course, you say the OG unis.
Absolutely.
So there you go. I don't know. I like the original. I'm with you. I like the original ones. That's kind of where I'm going with that. How about this story? We're going to talk about wrestling. Did you hear about the wrestling storyline, the Vince McMahon, the storyline in WWE where one of the female wrestlers had her home broken into and she was like kidnapped. Oh wait, no, that wasn't a storyline. That actually happened. That actually happened. There was a man. So it says on ESPN.com, man arrested on kidnapping charge at home of WWE superstar Sonya Deville. So Sonya Deville actually was in our studio 2 years ago. Her and Mandy Rose or whatever. That's their little pairing on wrestling. But they were in our studio just not even a year ago, and so I turn on and I was like, oh, this, I see the news on Sports Center or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is just no, this dude like stalked her. All right. Again, wrestling fans are the weirdest people anyways. All right. So this guy stalked her. And when she went to sleep, the only reason like that worst things didn't happen is because her alarm went off.
Jeez. That's crazy, man. I'm reading the article right now.
Yeah. It says
broken into her home.
Yeah. Philip Tom, I don't care.
Duct tape.
Yeah.
And a knife.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't playing around. He wasn't going into suplexer. He's bringing a knife and duct tape. What a weirdo, man. Like, this stuff is, and he looks creepy as hell. He's 24 years old. All right, he's 24 years old. He stalked the alleged victim on social media for years. And, yeah. So there's that. But no, that was not a scripted, wrestling's fake, it's scripted. Well, there's nothing fake about some random creepo breaking into your home when you're sleeping with a knife and duct tape.
Now, you got to have a pair on you to break into a wrestler's house. Now, we can do the whole she's a female thing, but I'm willing to put money on it that she could beat me up and you up. Like,
not me. Definitely me. Definitely me.
I mean, but duct tape and a knife, this dude's a complete psychopath.
Yeah, Philip A. Thomas was arrested and charged with 3 felonies: attempted armed kidnapping, armed burglary, and aggravated stalking. And again, this is in Florida. Thomas is also being charged with misdemeanor criminal mischief. I mean, they're racking him up, but it's his fault. I mean, this, and I'm not trying to make too light of this at all by any means. That's creepy. And that, you would think that stuff, I'm surprised that stuff doesn't happen more with them. Because those guys those wrestlers try to be very open with their fans, and they like it to, but sometimes you're a little too open, and then you open the door for weirdos like that. But yeah, that guy's arrested, and at least don't have to worry about that as far as that's concerned.
At 2:43 a.m., Thomas opened the home sliding doors and activated the alarm, prompting her to call 911. Jeez, man, that is creepy and crazy.
No kidding. Hey, let's go back to our results for the which jersey do you prefer, Space Jam 2 or the original? Kev, you said the OG unis. Tim says OG is way better. The new one is ugly. I agree. I do not like the new one. I think the guy wearing the ugly one is better than the guy wearing the OG one. LeBron greater than MJ, but LeBron's Toon Squad jersey is not greater than MJ's Toon Squad jersey. I don't know. Daddy Big. This is on Twitter. Daddy Big on Twitter. I don't know what the hell's going on. He says, I always roll with the OGs. Okay. And Ron on Facebook says 2 looks better because 1 is old. All right. So I'm better than Kevin. Kevin's older than me, so with that logic, Ron, thank you very much. No, I think this is an easy answer right here. The original ones, as far as that, but they've given any info as far as what that is going to be.
No, they haven't given him anything at all. Like, we're just now seeing the jerseys and everything like that. Like, there's going to be a huge rollout for this movie. This movie is going to do crazy numbers. Hopefully, we'll be back in movie theaters by then, but it's going to do crazy numbers, man. I'm looking forward to checking it out, man.
Other big news from yesterday. I touched on this to close out yesterday's show, but Monday Night Football announced their new Monday Night Football crew. You're going to have Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. I'm a big Louis Riddick fan. I don't have a bad vibe one way or another about Steve Levy or Brian Greasy, but I don't know if this does it for me. I mean, is this automatically better than Booger McFarland from last year?
Yes.
In what way? The last 2 years or whatever.
Because Steve Levy and Greasy, they've been calling college games together for years now. And everything that Louis Riddick says on the NFL, I basically agree with. So you got somebody that's been honing their craft, doing ESPN hits and everything like that. It just seems like Booger was like, I don't want to come off mean or anything, like the shtick guy on the SEC network and everything like that, the fun guy and everything like that. And then they throw him into a big role.
But he wasn't fun. That was the thing. He wasn't fun.
like he was on the SEC network.
Oh, yeah, and he's good on first take and get up.
That type of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you put him into that role on Monday Night Football where we talked about this before. I don't think like shtick type of stuff works. I think the Monday Night Football fan and the NFL fan, for that matter, they just want the facts. That's why Romo's so good. That's why Collinsworth is so good. Like they're giving you the facts of the game. They're not here to joke around and stuff like that. I think the college appeal that Booger brought to Monday Night Football just didn't work. And he was like wrong a lot.
That too.
So NFL football fans are way more critical about like down and distance. Like NFL football fans are super knowledgeable, especially about their team. So they're real sticklers. So I think them rolling with this matchup is going to do pretty good.
All right, I'm curious. Is this a good fit? 457-9464. Monday Night Football. Your new Monday Night Football crew: Steve Levy, Lewis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. I don't think it's a bad group. I think this can work, but I don't know how much better it's going to be than the last couple of years. I think it'll be better. Just how much better? That is the key. I am a humongous Pat McAfee fan. Mm-hmm. You would have equated that to probably sticky, but the thing is when you had Booger trying to be something he wasn't, that to me is when that's that borderline sticky or shtick, that type of thing. As far as Pat McAfee would have been a little over the top, but he's over the top.
Right.
And it would not have seemed forced. He's very genuine. But again, you're right. I think that would have been to go from Booger to that would have been a drastic jump. I think they're going to try it with this group right here, but they tried the Peyton Manning route. Obviously that didn't work. They were willing to open up the Brinks truck for him. Didn't work out. They wanted Tony Romo. I actually thought when I thought the news was going to come out about who just left the NFL Network and went with Barstool, big name Dion. By the way, Dion and Barstool. I mean, I don't see it. I think that had to do with more of money for one, and two, like he can brand the hell out of himself with Barstool. I mean, the apparel that they sell. I mean, all the products they sell and everything, and he's going to get all of, not a huge chunk, if not all of that chunk for anything that has his face and name on it. So I thought that's where they were heading. I was like, oh, Dion on Monday Night Football would have been pretty cool. My hot take from a few weeks ago: why were they getting rid of Mike Golick? I thought Mike Golick was going to be a surprise announcement for Monday Night Football. I thought that it could have worked. I thought that it was going to be, speaking of shtick, I thought they were working everybody with this. All right, let's take Mike Golick away from everyone. Let everyone talk about how great Mike Golick is. We want Mike Golick. Well, great news. Now you have Mike Golick on Monday Night Football. But obviously that is not the case as far as that is concerned. All right, that is our number one. This has been the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Also, keep in mind, Monday Night Football, Giants Steelers, Kev. You're going to have Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit calling that game in week one on Monday Night Football. I'm a big fan of theirs, too, with how they called games.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
All right, let's talk a little NFL. Top of the hour, 4 o'clock next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Foot odor throwing you off your game? Stick to a winning game plan with Odor Eaters, featuring 3 advanced odor and wetness fighters. The lineup provides long-lasting odor control plus more to keep your feet on their game.
Odor Eaters powder provides outstanding moisture control. Clear drying spray is the MVP in preventing athlete's foot, while insoles work continuously to manage wetness while adding a layer of comfort. Pick up today at Walmart, Target, CVS, Dollar General, or other fine retailers.
Odor Eaters. Destroy foot odor with the best in odor defense.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oil change coming up? We can help you out. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And if you need it fast, we can help you get it fast. Whether it's at home with our next day delivery or in store and curbside with our free same day pickup. The choice is yours. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Capital One checking and savings accounts have no fees or minimums and a top-rated banking app that lets you manage your money anytime, anywhere, even from your favorite hiking trail. With Capital One's app, you can check your balance, deposit checks, pay bills, and transfer money from wherever you are anytime you want, even when you're cooking dinner. Open a fee-free checking or savings account online in about 5 minutes. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips Haircuts, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
And you be stepping out like a pro.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your dentist to actually believe you?
And you're flossing every day.
Absolutely.
Great. And you're cutting down on your sweets?
Of course.
Wonderful. Then I don't even need to look in there.
Great. See you in 6 months.
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples.
There are many ways to catch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. You can catch it live right here on 1410 Wing AM, or you can stream the show at wingam.com. But now we have another way that you can take in the show. You can now watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page. Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio. WING 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
All right, we are back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. No Reds baseball tonight. Reds Royals will be postponed until tomorrow. So instead of one game tomorrow, there'll be two, a doubleheader, 7-inning doubleheader tomorrow again. It'll be the Reds' second 7-inning doubleheader of the season. They're 2-0 in their 7-inning doubleheaders this year, taking both from the Tigers earlier this season. Again, they won both of those games without Joey Votto. And tomorrow, as of now, full roster should be ready. I shouldn't say full roster, but they'll have a limited roster depending on who they keep off, after trying to be cautious with everything that happened over the weekend with the positive test for the Rona. Mike on Facebook, we were talking about the Monday Night Football crew. He says Golick Sr., Sarah Spain, and Tony Romo. Are you saying that's the crew you want? That might be the most random crew of all time. Golick Sr., Sarah Spain, and Romo. That is the most random trio of a Monday night. By the way, what would your ideal Monday night? Why do you need three? I'm not a fan of three. But what would your ideal Monday Night Football crew look like?
Because it's actually four, because you're going to have some person on the field as well.
You mean the Booger Mobile or whatever? No,
Lori was Lisa Salters was on the field interviewing coaches and players and stuff like that. So it's really like a 4-person thing. I'm a fan of Greasy and Levy. I don't have a problem with them. They're great on college football. So I don't have a problem with that. And then in addition, everything going on, I'm with it. I like it.
I like Marcus Spears. Marcus Spears is who I would have liked to have seen. But maybe you're right, that SEC route you talked about, how that didn't work with Booger. I think I like Marcus Spears better than Booger, but I do like Booger too. But I would have liked to have seen Marcus Spears get a shot. I think he's very entertaining. I think his sense of humor. I just think he's more entertaining than Booger McFarland.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
But who you put with him, I don't know. And Steve Levy, by the way, he's like that. He's the facilitator.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion of him one way or another. I think the role that Greasy and Louis Riddick filled, that's the two important pieces right there. And I think the tandem of a former player along with, and Louis Riddick's a former player too, but just that front office mind, that's a lot of different details coming to the broadcast that they're going to kind of be able to talk about. And Riddick's analyst role on some of the other shows like Get Up and First Take, I think that's going to play a huge role in the success of this as well. I agree with you. I think it could work. I just would have been more I would have liked to have seen something different, but again, I think that this was the safe route to go. Ron says Levitard, Poppy, and Stugotz. I tell you what, Ron, for one game, I would be all about Levitard, Poppy, and Stugotz being the Monday Night Football crew for one night. But yeah, 457-9464, or of course on Facebook, comment below. What would your ideal Monday Night Football crew look like? Again, it was announced yesterday. Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy will be the new Monday Night Football crew moving forward. They'll debut on September 14th with the Titans at the Broncos, the second game of ESPN's doubleheader that night. Keep in mind the first game, that Giants and Steelers game, that'll be called by Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. I love listening to those two call games. There's just something about like Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler. It's like for me, I have to listen to them call football. Like Jay Billis, I could listen to him call basketball all day, and he's not really calling. He's the color analyst, but still, there's just certain guys like Dickie V, big Dickie V fan, but I'm not a big him on the call guy as much anymore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's awesome, baby.
You know something? I'm definitely going to miss from the college football season outside of the actual games, and college game day and everything like that. Fowler used to go live on his Instagram after whatever big game they were at on Saturday night, him and Herbie and the Bear having a drink after the game, talking about everything that went down on that Saturday in college football. Like, that's the type of stuff that I'm going to miss as well, because, those guys are so knowledgeable about the game, and not just the Power 5 conferences. They would talk about, what was going on with Memphis, what happened in the WAC that night, like if it was a big upset or something like that. Those lives and kind of seeing those guys let their hair down a little bit. I'm gonna miss that type of stuff this upcoming season, because we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get all those behind the scenes, and we're not gonna get all those great stories that we normally get.
Who says the SEC's kicking off?
It means more.
It just means more. The ACC. By the way, did you see Notre Dame?
What's up?
They had 56 positive cases over the weekend, but it spiked to over 140 today.
Shouts out to them students.
So 140 positive coronavirus tests over at Notre Dame.
But this goes back to what you were saying this whole time. Don't shut things down until after the students get back on campus to see what happens. Apparently, when the students come back, they come back with the Rona.
It's funny how that works. But again, this is why I was arguing too. I don't care. Like when Jim Harbaugh, like when Ryan Day and everyone, they were making pointless arguments. And what I mean by that is, hey, they're safer here than they are back at home. Well, it's easy to say that when you have zero positive tests to back your argument. But the problem is that sample size becomes void the second that the circumstances change. Right. And the circumstances changed the second students arrived on campus. You had, the one time I agreed with Jim Harbaugh, when not really agreed, but I respected his approach to it, was talking about how the fact that Michigan had gone like 2 weeks without any positive tests. Well, that's great. That's all fine and dandy, but it's easy to have zero positive tests when you have the same guys at practice every day who already are negative with the virus. So of course it's easy to remain negative, but what's not easy to do is to remain negative when you have 50,000+ students from all over the country coming to your campus. So those arguments were pointless. Like when they were making all the arguments about how well the testing has been going and how they haven't had any positive tests, I'm like, who cares? They're not canceling it because of where you're at now. They're probably pulling the plug on it because of where it's potentially going to go.
Right. And
but that was where I was at with that.
You're in a small college town like Ann Arbor or Happy Valley. Those are small college towns that basically get empty in the summertime. And then once the fall hits, It's one of the biggest cities in the state of Michigan or Pennsylvania. You don't get that really in Columbus now. Columbus is popping all the time. So I think it is to be commended for the guys on the team that aren't going out to the club, aren't going to parties, aren't going to do God knows what. That's to be commended. But you can't control everybody. And that's the thing about it. And that's what people have to understand. Like, all right, these guys are young. They're going to go out. All right. Just say this for argument's sake. Let's say the 100 guys on the college football team say, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just going to class and I'm going home. Well, what about the other 20,000 people that go to that school? Are they going to be as responsible as them? Apparently not, because we saw what happened at UD, saw what's going on in Notre Dame, saw what's going on in North Carolina. It's going to happen at every university across the country, man. And believe it or not, people, not everybody cares about football as much as you and I do. You talk about the big rating that the Super Bowl gets every year. You know what gets a bigger rating than the Super Bowl? Whatever Lifetime movie's on, because they have anti-programming for the Super Bowl. Some people don't care about sports like that. So you mean to tell me there's going to be tons of people on that college campus that really don't even care about Alabama or Ohio State football? They're there to get an education, or they're there strictly to party. They're not caring about what those other people got going on.
Yeah, and here was the other deal with that too, because my thinking is just because, well, this could be a topic for later, but like when we always talk about, like, I know people are tired of the same argument. Like I see that the amateur conversation is coming up again. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear that these are amateur athletes. I saw George Schwartz tweet that out earlier today. And I'm like, really? I was like, enough of that. Like, if adjustments are being made to potentially, like, because one of these suggestions for the ACC was to, all right, send all students home and keep all college athletes on campus and create the bubble environment there, which, by the way, was the easiest answer to come up with months ago. But back then, everyone was waving the holier than thou, oh, no, this is amateur sports. You can't do that if it's not safe for the player or the students to be on campus, and there's no way that the athletes could be. And now all of a sudden, because they watched the Big Ten pull the plug, I think it got people's attention, and everyone's like, oh, man, we really could not have football this fall. Now everyone's okay with this mindset of, oh, well, maybe we do take the students off campus and we stay on. The players will do anything to play. Well, where was this attitude 2 or 3 months ago when everyone is ready just to sit? I mean, you had the whole Pac-12, the Pac-12, we're sitting out. Well,
they were sitting out because there weren't universal testing. Well, and it's still not universal testing.
And it was never going to be universal testing.
No, universal in the conference, at least. If you're only going to play conference games, you got to have something from the conference to say, all right, we're doing X, Y, and Z. They're doing that in the ACC, and they're doing that in the SEC. And apparently they were trying to do that in the Big Ten. But obviously that plug got pulled, but that's what they wanted. And also the thing about it is, it's kind of like how you were talking about before. Yes, the bubble obviously is the way to go. We're watching NBA playoff basketball right now. We got NHL baseball.
Okay, Milwaukee.
Okay. Shouts out to Orlando with the home court advantage. But we got everything that's going on with the NHL. They're playing. The only other sport that's going on right now that doesn't have a bubble is Major League Baseball, and you were getting these blips from team to team. And you look at what's going on with the Indians and everything like that. Those are 2 grown adults who are getting paid, and they can't keep their butt in the house. So you mean to tell me you're going to take a young adult, he's really going to stay in the house? So-and-so gives him a call, tells him to come to this party. There's only about 10 of us over here. It'll be cool. I like that. That's what's going to happen, man. Like, and the only way this season can potentially happen is a bubble situation. Yeah. And I think the bubble situation is 2 different arguments from the long-term health effects. Those are 2 different arguments for me. Like, I've conceded to the fact that, you know what, the only way this can happen is a bubble. But that is not the same conversation as the long-term health effects. So I think the Big Ten shut things down because of the long-term health effects and the potentially of being sued later down the road versus like, all right, we just don't want to deal with the bubble situation.
And keep this in mind today, folks, going on right now, many parents from around the Big Ten are storming Normandy. No, they are They are in Chicago right now. Randy Wade, of course, Sean Wade's dad, and other parents of Big Ten college football players, they want answers about why the league postponed the fall football season so early. They're going directly to the source. Adam Rittenberg, who we've had on the show with ESPN, says Wade, the father of star defensive back Sean Wade, is planning to visit Big Ten headquarters in Illinois on Friday morning. He's flying to Chicago Thursday night from Florida and expects other parents of Big Ten players to join him and seek specifics from, okay, let's be clear here. You get those answers. Mm-hmm. You know what we're going to do then? Not good enough.
Yes.
You don't get answers. Still going to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing this for? You're allowed to be upset. Fans are upset. I have no problem. I'm upset. I hate that we're not going to have Buckeye football this fall. But there's do we really need all these parents from around the country flying to Illinois right now during a pandemic to get answers? You want to know the answer? It's the same answer as to why it's stupid of you to be flying all over the damn country to get answers. There's a freaking pandemic. Sit your ass at home. Get off that plane.
Think about that.
It's so stupid. We're gonna fly from Florida. Oh yeah. Let's meet up. Let's meet for drinks later. Like had to be before 10 though, because why? Oh yeah, that little pandemic thing that's going on at the moment.
Now I'm with you 100%. I didn't even think about the whole him flying from Florida. Like yikes, no, stay in Florida, stay away. But you're right though. But he does need to answer these questions. These questions definitely need answers.
But if I'm him, though, I look at all those parents and say, you'll get your answers when I'm ready to give you answers. You just because you fly to Florida, don't mean I got to do a damn thing for you. Like I'm not a big fan of his right now, but I will be a big fan of his if he puts his chest out and tells all those parents, you'll get your answers on my time, not your time. You're not going to fly here and all of a sudden bully me into giving you an answer. And like I said, he probably doesn't even have an answer, Kev. Like he didn't do a good job.
Gotta have answer.
He didn't do a good. I mean, and you're right. He has to have an answer, and whatever that answer was to pull the plug on the season, which he has yet to tell people, even if it's a bad one, he still has. You're right. He still needs to reveal what that answer is. But to be fair, even if he said, I found 3 health officials that said a third of my team will die a third of the players in the Big Ten will die if we play college football this fall. Parents will be like, well, that's not even half. So who cares? I'm just saying, there's no answer out there that is going to be good enough to help these parents at night sleep. It is unfortunate. It sucks. But my goodness, can you name anything that's been fair from March until now? I mean, really, nothing has been fair about any of this. And even if he did have an answer, or he does, but it doesn't mean you're going to agree with it as far as that goes. Earlier, you said, not everyone cares about football. Matthew Gaines on Facebook says there's a lot of people that don't care about COVID either. You're right, Matthew, which is why we don't have football right now.
Bang, bang.
The people that don't care about COVID are the reason that we don't have football right now. And the people that don't care about COVID, the ones that are partying it up at North Carolina, here at, on campus at UD, where else? North Carolina, Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. They had 140 plus positive tests and students have arrived back on campus. And there's videos all over social media of the big parties, which, by the way, I'm not judging. All I know is when I look at those scenarios, I say, that's why we're not going to have football.
Yeah.
The ACC, Big Ten. Oh, well, how come they get to play and we don't? They're not playing. Just relax.
Give it time.
The only thing that they're getting that's better, that's more than you, is just more practice time. I mean, just relax. So yes, when you say, there's a lot of people that don't care about COVID either. You're right. I agree. That's actually probably the most factual statement made on this show today. There are many people who don't care about COVID. So when you wonder why we don't have football, it's because of that answer right there. I agree with you. Not enough people care about it. How many months did they spend warning? Wear a mask if you want to see football this fall. Wear a mask. And then they don't wear a mask. People complain about all the rules, don't follow the rules. Then they pull football and they act like they can't just pull the carpet out from underneath us like this. What are you talking about?
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. You were jumping on the carpet, jumping off, jumping on the carpet, jumping off. You made it easy. I don't know. Kyle McGuire, Kinner is the ultimate Corona bro. We have a Clay Travis fan in the house. How about that? A Corona bro. Did you learn that all on your own, Kyle? What makes me a Corona bro? Because I'm saying that a pandemic is, bad. I didn't name it a pandemic. The people that are like, well, the health officials said that it's safe to play. Well, what about the health officials that said it's not safe to play? Are they just not credible because they're not telling you what you want to hear? Corona bro out. We'll be back in a moment.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 79 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy down to a low of 55. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 81. I'm Leanna Ray for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather brought to you by Cullet Seal Coating, protecting the asphalt surfaces around your home, office, or commercial property. Crack filling, asphalt sealing, and parking lot striping. Find us at culletsealcoating.com.
Morning.
How'd you get in my house, B?
Through the air conditioning vent. It's dark in there.
Go away.
How about some Honey Nut Cheerios?
Cheerios. Do I look like a child to you?
Honey Nut Cheerios are tasty and can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet. Did you just
No.
I'm pretty sure I heard a
It was my dryer.
You might want to get that thing checked out.
Have a change of heart. Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Work at home. Work out at home. Second period math at home. Date night at home. Lately, we're doing a lot more at home, which means we're doing a lot less driving. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price also includes a daily rate, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Redbox has top entertainment with new movies and big hits. And now they're giving you a chance to win big money. Enter the Redbox 15K Summer Sweepstakes. Rent or buy any Sony movie now through August 24th, and you could win the $15,000 grand prize. Rent Jumanji The Next Level, Little Women, Bad Boys for Life, and other Sony movies at redbox.com/15K sweeps. Make it a movie night, and you could win big with Redbox. No purchase necessary. Must be at least 18 years old and a U.S. resident. For official rules and to learn more, including how to enter for free via email, visit redbox.com/15K sweeps. Goodyear knows why we all love basketball. It's the sound of the buzzer, the roar of the crowd, the swish of the net. It's the spin on the ball as it's released, the squeaking sneakers before an inbound pass, the timeout that gives us perspective on the moment. We love basketball because we love movement. And now that it's back, we're asking you, the fans, what moves you? Goodyear, more driven.
It's Danielle for CertaPro Painters. You know, I've used CertaPro Painters for pretty much everything that requires paint. And most recently, we had our entire house painted. And I mean the entire house. Gutters, shutters, windowsills, siding, and even the brick. Yes, everything. Talk about a phenomenal job. Exterior painting is the most effective way of boosting the curb appeal of your house. And our curb appeal, well, it went up to 100 plus. CertaPro painters really are amazing. They know how to get the job done right and paint a wide variety of surfaces, including stucco, vinyl siding, aluminum, brick, shutters, doors, windows, and trim. They do interior, exterior, residential, commercial, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in your local community. You can schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Check them out now and get the job done right. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
If you're a man aged 45 to 80 with a history of heart disease or stroke, please listen closely to this message. Some men with a history of heart disease or stroke also have low testosterone levels, also known as hypogonadism. Symptoms of low testosterone hypogonadism include decreased sexual desire, fatigue, depressed mood, and loss of body hair. If you've had a heart attack or stroke in the past and experienced the symptoms of low testosterone hypogonadism, please consider our research study that is underway in Dayton. Qualified participants may receive testosterone replacement therapy or placebo and study-related care at no cost, as well as compensation for their time. Please call now to speak with the research study coordinator. Dial 937-506-6100. The number again is 937-506-6100. That's 937-506-6100.
It's the summer clearance event at Key Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At Key, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com where you can complete all the aspects of a vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously, he's...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Third floor study hall. First floor homeroom. My dining room table.
Wherever school happens for you this year, Staples has everything from notebooks to sanitizer, laptops to face masks. Now at Staples, get 20% off your in-store purchase of hand sanitizer, masks, and other PPE products. Go to staples.com/20 off PPE for your coupon.
In front of the TV.
No chance, kiddo. Staples. Shop in-store or pick up curbside. Ends 8/22. In-store only. Exclusions apply. See store for details. Curbside available in most stores.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference, like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Most people know that Mr. Clean Magic Eraser removes crayon and scuff marks from walls, but did you know it even cleans tough kitchen and bathroom messes that are sometimes tough to tackle? Just wet, squeeze, and erase gray soap scum on your bathtub. Erase cloudy hard water spots in your shower. Erase burnt-on stovetop messes. So for all your tough kitchen and bathroom messes, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples.
The Reds are on the radio.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is finally here. There are only 60 games this season, so don't miss a second of the action.
Winker hammers one to deep right field, and that is a no-doubter.
Catch every game right here on Dayton's home of the Reds, 1410 ESPN Radio. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER and ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Back to the famous WING studios. Here's Justin Kinner and Kev Nash.
Browns writer Mary Kay Cabot, she tweets out about an hour ago that Mac Wilson is the defensive player who basically horse collar tackled Nick Chubb yesterday and put him on the concussion protocol list. Yesterday, I was joking that I opened up the show with talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and paperweight AJ Green going down again. Now, to be fair, he's back in practice today. He was back on the field, him and T. Higgins both. So good for them, But I put out that negative mojo yesterday, poking fun at the Bengals' injury problems. And then, of course, about an hour later, all of a sudden, word comes out that Nick Chubb was missed the rest of practice. And, of course, he misses practice today, and he's going to be on the concussion protocol list for quite some time now. So, but I guess Mac Wilson, he's paying his dues today after his horse collar tackle on Nick Chubb yesterday, and as he has been replaced in the starting lineup for team drills by Tay Davis. So, is what it is. You tell me a story about the hypocrisy in with the NCAA. I know that it's a list a mile long, but the player, who was it for was it Syracuse? Who was the player that transferred?
Yeah. So I'm a huge Syracuse basketball fan. So this just came through on my timeline. Alan Griffin, he used to play at Illinois last year. He transferred from Illinois to Syracuse. He's deemed eligible for this upcoming season. And it's funny, I saw the story about, I want to make sure I get his name right. He's an offensive tackle who transferred from Georgia to Tennessee, Cade something or other. And they said he's not eligible to play this upcoming season. So it's just the same old, same old.
Should have been a quarterback.
That's apparently so.
Even in basketball, be a quarterback. So when the NCAA opens up your request, it looks like, we have a college basketball player wants to transfer. Oh, what position? He plays quarterback. Well, that's basketball. I know, but figured to increase his chances of being approved to play right away, basically, as far as that goes. Look, we all know that, we want to talk about transparency. How can we demand transparency from a guy, the commissioner of the Big Ten, when we don't even demand transparency from the NCAA? Let's be clear. The only reason that Kevin Warren's in this spot to begin with is because the NCAA passed the buck onto other decision makers who probably weren't equipped to make these types of decisions to begin with. But I never finished that story. You finished your story. Cade Mays. No, he transferred to Syracuse.
No. Cade Mays is an offensive lineman from Georgia. He played at Georgia.
Football. I think we're talking basketball.
No, but this is so hypocrisy. Okay, so I'll rewind.
Yeah.
Alan Griffin, former basketball player at Illinois, transferred to Syracuse in the fall. Well, in the spring. They deemed him academically and eligible to play this season for Syracuse basketball team. The same season, Cade Mays transferred from Georgia to Tennessee to play football, not eligible.
Well, for Syracuse, it's just a minor speed bump.
Oh, this guy. Look
out!
This guy.
What?
And this the other thing. The kid, Cade Mays, he was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee. So he's moving closer to home. That's like his whole thing. He wanted to move closer to home. Alan Griffin is from the state of Illinois, is transferring to New York, upstate New York. So there's no rhyme or reason with transfer waivers with the NCAA at all.
By the way, speaking of transfer waivers and all that, yesterday, Buckeye superfan, Tennessee Jeff? Buckeye superfan, Tennessee has Tennessee in his name. Don't get it, but nonetheless, Tennessee Jeff, by the way, all the parents, by the way, who are going to Chicago, to demand answers from Kevin Warren, Big Ten commissioner, Tennessee Jeff is en route as well.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he's en route. He's on his way. He's joining the parents on the picket line.
Now, he was a part of the Urban Meyer protest situation as well, right?
When Urban Meyer was being investigated for all the Zach Smith situation, I remember actually being appalled at the fact that someone, because of the optics of everything, I couldn't believe that there was a big rally that was supposed to be held outside. I think of the Woody, or was it right outside the Shoe? There was a big rally that was supposed to be held outside, I believe, the Shoe, during the investigation for Urban Meyer. And, it was free Urban Meyer and all this stuff and going on. But it was Tennessee Jeff who organized that, him and Zeke Elliott's dad. So Tennessee Jeff, who calls into the show all the time, him and Zeke, they had, at that rally, I guess Zeke's dad was out there. Now, not many people, it's not like many people showed up. It wasn't as big a gathering as what people were anticipating. They anticipated this mob of people to show up in support of Urban. And although everyone does support Urban, I think people were very well aware of how weird the optics were of, hey, come free the guy that's being, investigated right now for allowing domestic violence under his belt. Now, of course, we're so far removed from that. But at the time, it was not good. But yeah, so that's, I always found that interesting. But he's all over the dang place. I don't get how him, and if you're listening, Tennessee Jeff, more, by all means, call it. But how do guys like him, they make it to every damn game. Every game. And not just make it to every game. They're down always on the freaking field half the time.
Ooh, him.
He's posted.
Buckeye guy.
Yeah. There's one picture he posted on Facebook. Ryan Day's drawn up a play, and there he is just cheesing away, taking the selfie. I'm like, what?
Taking a picture of the play sheet.
I'm like, what in the world's going on? As far as that's concerned, look, I think it's great what the parents are doing, trying to rally together, come together. I just don't think it's going to be enough. It's nothing's going to be overturned. Now, the season's not going to happen. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. But yesterday, Tennessee Jeff, when he called in, he brought up the point that he said that he's friends with one of the assistant coaches on Ohio State, whoever that coach is. We're just going to take him for his word. That there is big concern on that coaching staff about the negative recruiting that is going to go on for Ohio State moving forward because of this. I call BS on that. I disagree. I think that, like, if you are a normal Big Ten team, a Purdue, I think it's going to hurt them in recruiting. I think it's going to hurt the Iowas of the world. I think Michigan State, who is, Mel Tucker taking over, new head coach for them, the Spartans, I think that they're going to be in a tough spot. But I don't look at Ohio. I think when you are one of the top recruits in the country, it's the Ohio State University. No one's Ohio State's a Big Ten team. But when I see Ohio State, I don't sit there and say, the Big Ten. I just think it's Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Like Alabama, I don't think of the SEC. I just think of Alabama. But when I hear Wisconsin, when I hear Iowa, Purdue, you think I know it sounds weird, but it just screams their conference. Ohio State's on another level. I've been saying this for a while. I believe Ohio State has outgrown that conference. I do not believe at all that this will impact Ohio State from a recruiting standpoint. They just signed another big name for the class of 22, the number 67 recruit in the 22 class. They just got a commitment from him today. So Ohio State's still rolling in big name. It's not scaring people away. I'm not saying I know more than one of the assistant coaches on the Ohio State staff, but I do believe that it's overreaction. I don't think it's going to impact recruiting at all. At the end of the day, it's still the Ohio State University. And I promise you, something funky happens next year too. Ohio State, they will not go 2 years in a row without playing football. I have a hard time believing. I'm surprised that they laid over and played dead for this fall. I can't believe they didn't put more up of a fight. And Ryan Day can sit there and say #fight and all this stuff. What fight? Your fight lasted for maybe 20 hours, if that. You one day, we're going to continue to fight to play. The next day, nope, plugs pulled again. So to me, I do not believe that it will impact them from a recruiting standpoint. I just don't.
Remember how we agreed earlier in the show?
And here we are, back to normal.
Back to normal. I totally disagree. I think it's going to, the teams like your Michigan States, your Purdue's, they're still going to do exactly what they have always done because they recruit from a local talent base from Indiana, Ohio, and like Kentucky and stuff like that. Those places are always going to be there for them. But since Ohio State and Penn State, they recruit national. Not even Penn State recruits as national as Ohio State. Ohio State almost is on a I select you basis. Mm-hmm. They can go to Florida. They can go to Texas, California, wherever, and basically handpick who they want to come to the school. I think it's going to be a little more difficult for them to basically handpick the guys that they want on their campus now because of the fact that we're not going to be playing ball this year. If the SEC and ACC and Big 12 finish the season. Now, if everything goes Kaputsville, like you and I believe it will, it'll be status quo. But if they're able to finish the season, those three conferences are able to finish the season, I do think it'll affect recruiting. These coaches will say anything, and just because we're knowledgeable enough to understand, like, all right, man, hey, this was a one-time situation. This is a messed up situation. We had to cancel it, but we're going to be back. Some people don't think like that. They're going to be kicking at it like we care more about football than anything. We care about you. We want to make sure you make it to the NFL. They'll cancel football over a little pandemic. They're not willing to make it happen. Like, those are the recruiting tactics that are going to be used against Ohio State if they're able to finish the season. So I don't think that it'll be like, all right, Ohio State's obviously a top 5 program in recruiting. I don't think it's going to drop them down to like 25, but I think it'll drop them down from 5 to maybe like 10.
And keep in mind, so today, Ohio State, of course, we all know they have the number 1 recruiting class in 2021, and they're kicking ass right now as far as 2022 is concerned. They just added a commitment, from Dasan McCullough, and again, he's an ESPN top 300 player and all that stuff. It's the equivalent to the 24/7 composite and all that stuff. So we'll rank all these players, but one of the top players in the country just picked Ohio State, committed to Ohio State earlier this afternoon. The teams that he originally had at the top of his list, Kevin, Clemson out of the ACC, right? National championship contender yearly. Of course, you have Florida out of the SEC, Florida State out of the ACC, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas. So the only other Big Ten team in his options or considerations was Nebraska out of the Big Ten, but everyone else, they're out of conferences that are playing. So that's why I'm like, okay, you already have your if anything, it could impact maybe the 2021 season. Maybe, but they already have the number one recruiting class wrapped up as far as that's concerned. And 2022, that's so far off in the distance that I don't think this season's going to have anything to do with that. That's why I really believe it's not going to have that much of an impact on it. I'm curious. 457-9464. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Search the ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. For those of you who are heavy YouTube users, of course, if everyone's on Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook. I want to hear from you. Do you believe that this is actually going to impact the Buckeyes on recruiting? Kevin says yes. I say no. At the end of the day, folks, it is still the Ohio State University. I don't believe it'll impact them recruiting-wise. But you heard our take. We're going to hear yours. 457-9464. And, of course, you can also leave your comments and answers in the comments section. We'll address your takes when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to assist veterans during this COVID-19 pandemic. Even though we are not meeting face-to-face, we are here for you. We understand it is a difficult time with this virus threat and the strain of implementing social distancing. For those Montgomery County veterans who have lost their source of income due to their employers having to close or reduce their business hours due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you may be eligible for COVID-19 special financial relief assistance. Please contact the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission at 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday for more information or to have an application sent to you. You can also visit mcvsc.org. The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to help Montgomery County veterans during the COVID-19 crisis. Call 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday or visit them online at mcvsc.org.
This is Lake Gibson of the Montgomery County Clerk of Court's office. I want to remind Montgomery County residents about our Help Center and how we can be of assistance. In addition to providing legal forms and sharing programs and resources, we have also partnered with experts in a variety of fields, such as driver's license reinstatement, expungements, Medicare, Medicaid, and even financial literacy that includes numerous topics. Visit courthouse2u.com to get more information about our Help Center located in the courthouse and our community events throughout the county. Brought to you by Montgomery County Clerk of Courts, Mike Foley.
O'Reilly Auto Parts can help make your auto maintenance easier. So when your car isn't stopping like it used to, our professional parts people will help you find the brake parts and supplies to do the job right the first time. Right now, get 15% off a set of brake vest pads and 2 rotors, plus O'Reilly Brake Cleaner, 2 for $5. Stop by or visit O'ReillyAuto.com today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's our biggest sale of the year where all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Let's go, let's go squeeze. We're going, growing, standing tall, climbing, laughing, hide and seek and giving our all.
Our kids' days are filled with adventure, and Go-Go Squeeze is there for every run, jump, step of the way. Made from wholesome ingredients like 100% fruit and veggies, real yogurt, and no artificial anything. In Go Anywhere pouches, so our kids can keep going wherever their adventures take them. Go-Go Squeeze, you make the memories, we'll make the snacks. Find us in the applesauce aisle.
Let's go.
And now a game of commercial chicken brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Oh, hi. Okay, guess we should talk about something. Kind of tough to be put on the spot. Not sure what to say. But I know what I'm definitely not talking about. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
At Advance Auto Parts, we have same-day delivery, same-day contact-free curbside pickup, and same-day in-store pickup to keep you going. And we have the right oil, right filter, right price every day to keep your vehicle going. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Valvoline, Mobile One, Pennzoil Platinum, or Castrol Edge with a Fram titanium oil filter for just $33.99. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With our award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter, it's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you and your family and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh and never frozen and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers with home daily lanes. $2,000 sign-on bonus, great pay and benefits. Contact Cody. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation. Driven to succeed.
It's the summer clearance event at Key Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At Key, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com where you can complete all the aspects of a vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of podiatric medicine are physicians. They set broken bones, perform wound care, treat corns, calluses, remove bunions, and can even perform total ankle replacements. Our physicians complete 3-year residencies in hospitals and train to manage your total foot and ankle health. Athletes with arch problems or tendon issues frequently seek out care from our physicians. Common health issues that podiatric physicians treat include ingrown or fungal nails, as well as warts and skin problems like athlete's foot. If you have ulcers or blisters, you should have that checked and have your footwear checked too. Diabetics are especially prone to foot issues when they have neuropathy. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? Visit associationsadvanceohio.com to find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association to help you, so you know that you are being treated by the very best.
If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. Save money with pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate. Call a local Allstate agent and get a quote.
The biggest local and national guests sit down for the biggest interviews with Justin Kinner on 1410 Wing Live, presented by Arrowhead Tax Service. Follow along live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page and catch all previous episodes at wingam.com. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. All right, here's the deal. I love baseball at times, and then at other times I'm like, this is why the sport is struggling to build its fan base or to enlarge its fan base. It's very frustrating. For one, I remember we had Hal McCoy on a while back, and he said the one thing about baseball, not only do they shoot themselves in the foot, they shoot themselves in both feet. And to me, that is baseball's biggest problem is there's already, you always as a business always have to be keeping an eye out on the competition. What are they doing to evolve and progress and get better? And what do we need to do to keep up? And the one thing that baseball keeps doing is they keep relying on that my favorite thing of all time. Oh, history. Oh, history and, everything that goes into everything that they do. It's all about the tradition of, everything that's been done in the past. Well, our history, this is how we've always done it. Well, if our country did a lot of things that we always used to do, it would be a very scary place to begin with. How about that? So I don't want to hear about tradition as far as that is concerned. The one thing about baseball that I cannot stand is the pitchers. They are the softest individuals in the world. I think Trevor Bauer, as good as a pitcher as he is very weak between the ears because he listens to everything, he reads everything, and he gets offended by everything. There is a reason that when I had Marty Brenneman on the show back, I believe in April, I had asked Marty Brenneman his thoughts on Trevor Bauer, in regards to, Trevor Bauer had answered a question on a podcast about what does he think the biggest issues in baseball are. And of all the real issues that exist in baseball, Trevor Bauer had the nerve to say that the broadcasters are too critical. And Marty knew that was a shot directed at him. And he basically said, look, if anyone, I mean, he should know how critical I am, because he basically got his ass handed to him by the third inning every time he stepped foot out on the mound for the Reds in the second half of last season. So we all know that pitchers get a little sensitive from time to time. Now, to be fair to Trevor Bauer, he has defended this situation. But Fernando Tatis with the Padres last night, the Padres over the Rangers, they're up 10-3. It's the top of the 8th inning. The bases are loaded. Apparently a 7-run lead. Apparently, like, you know, us Reds fans, we're like, oh, a 7-run lead, that's never safe, especially with this bullpen that the Reds have. A 7-run lead is not that game's not over. You know, I believe it was 10-3 with the bases loaded, top of the 8th inning. For Fernando Tatis Jr. steps into the box. It's a 3-0 count. You know that the pitcher with the bases loaded is going to do everything in his power to throw a strike right down the middle. Well, you want to talk for all my strategy folk out there? Oh, you can't take the DH out of the. You can't add the DH. It takes the strategy out of the game. Well, how is this strategy? How is this strategy? Oh, well, the strategy of this part of the game is you just got to let the pitch go by because you don't want to hit in the runs because you might run up the score. No. So last night, up 7 runs. It's 10-3. Fernando Tatis Jr. steps into the box. He's facing a 3-0 count. You know, he can draw the walk and 1 run will come in. The bases will remain loaded. Or you can swing the bat really hard, knowing that you're going to get a strike basically just kind of lobbed for you right down the middle and hit that baby right over the wall. And that's what he did. And for me, a grand slam is one of the more exciting things in baseball. I get tired of this, single, 1-run home runs and everything else. Like, that's boring baseball to me. That's why I love small ball. I love bunting and advancing the runners over. I love all that stuff. It's more action, more excitement. But grand slams are pretty exciting too when you bring in 4 freaking runs, and it doesn't happen often. So the fact that last night Fernando Tatis hits this grand slam, and he's apologizing, Kev. He had to apologize after the game because the unwritten rule is that you don't run, you don't swing at a 3-0 count with your team up big. Why are you apologizing? Why are you saying sorry for doing your job? You know who should be apologizing is the pitcher. The pitcher who was about to walk you with the bases loaded. The only one that was not doing his job last night was the pitcher. Right. That's who should be apologizing, not the hitter, not Fernando Tatis Jr., because now all he has done is he's prolonged the problem. Because now moving forward, it's, remember, you can't be aggressive because you might hurt the other team's feelings. If you don't want to play like a Major League Baseball team, you're not going to get respected like a Major League Baseball team. I would not have apologized at all. In fact, every time you should be looking to knock the ball to the park every damn time. Yes. You should never say, we're up by enough runs. I should just lay down a bunt so we can get out of this inning and get home earlier. No, this is an absolute joke. Baseball should be embarrassed, and I'm so sick of these unwritten rules in baseball. It's an absolute travesty, and it's really killing the sport, if you ask me.
It's garbage. It's total garbage because baseball is not a time sport. This isn't the NFL or college football where you can take a knee and keep the clock moving. It's an untimed sport. You play a certain amount of innings, so you should try to score as many runs as you humanly possible, because if the other team gets up and they put 3 guys on base and they hit a home run, boom, they're right back in the game. And guess what? They go deep enough into your bullpen, you might be out there putting outfielders at the pitching spot. Yep. And they could come back and win the game. Now, will people be saying like, oh, this is the greatest comeback of all time because you didn't take the opportunity to score when you should have? This isn't like LeBron James. Like, that's like LeBron James getting a steal with 10 seconds on the clock and not going in for a slam dunk. You take the points. You do what you got to do.
Not to be fair,
win the game.
Again, me and you, I wish me and you were doing the show back when remember the Trotwood situation? Mm-hmm. Rocky Rockhold, me and him, I apologize because my opinion, because my opinions were a little too out there. I don't apologize often.
To me.
I apologize to Coach Rockhold on this. And, I remember, where was I at? It was that Chris Wright was holding he was all his AAU players. Mm-hmm. They were doing, he was kind of giving them some, teaching them like how to respond to media, how to answer some media questions. Mike Hartsock was there. I was there. Mike Hartsock was giving them the TV questions. I was giving the players like the radio interviews after. It was basically just a little mock radio interview for these players on how to, handle situations and all that. And Chris Wright's mom, she said, you need to lay off on Trotwood. I'm tired of you talking, because I was upset at Trotwood beating teams by 90 plus points because I thought it was, I was like, that's a little ridiculous. You shouldn't be dropping, for what? I mean, good for you if you could drop 100 points, more power to you. But beating teams by 100, there has to be a certain point in that game where you're just running the score up. So, of course, Mally Kinner, I'm on the air. I'm Mr. Know-It-All and all this stuff. But, Coach Rockhold assured me, hey, the press was taken off earlier in the game than what you're seeing and hearing on Twitter. All right, starters were taken out, at a decent time. If his second, bench guys are still better than the original players for the team that's down 100, more power to. So I admitted I was wrong, and him and I are good now. But this is similar to that. Mm-hmm. In basketball, there are some little understandings of, okay, you don't want to run up the score. There's certain ways to do it. Like in basketball, there's unwritten rules in all sports, by the way. When you have a large lead in football, especially on the height, you don't keep trying to air it out and trying to just run up the score that way. Run the ball, take time off the clock, and let's end this game. You've already have the game in the bag. Right. Basketball, if you're up big, you shouldn't be out there, jacking up threes and trying to, you work the ball around, work the clock, get the time off. That's the thing too. So there's unwritten rules in every sport, but it's like baseball has so many of them. And last night, by the way, let's be clear, 7 runs in the top of the 8th inning, that is not a big enough lead to where you take your foot off the gas pedal. I thought that was ridiculous. Every sport has unwritten rules, but baseball is the only one that just overdoes it to the point. But yeah, basketball, we talked about that years ago. I remember me and you in the Hot 102.9 studio talking about that. I'm like, you were saying, no, it was fine. I'm still not a big fan of high school teams, especially beating other teams by 100. But I'm a hypocrite because last night I'm like, if you can't stop them, you deserve to be embarrassed. I don't know. I don't have that same energy with high school, I guess. I
think in all sports, it's a learning tool. You can, especially at the high school level, if you take out your starters and your backups go in there and give up the lead, then what? Like, if you lose the game because you took your foot off the gas, but it's the coach's fault. You have to teach them to keep your foot on the gas at all times.
You think Coach Rockhold's kid's going to give up 100 point?
Never.
I mean, I like Coach Rockhold, but Coach Rockhold, if you put your bench in and you lose a 100-point lead, you shouldn't be basketball.
But it's a mindset. Though.
I know.
It's a mindset. Yeah. It's like, okay,
that's the equivalent to throwing in the flag. You're basically even to your team, you're telling them, all right, we're done. And trust me, I was the captain of the games out of reach club. I was the victory cigar or the I need a drink after this game guy. Like I was thrown in when the game was done, one way or the other. So I understand it completely, folks. Don't get me wrong, but
it's a mindset. You want to always keep that mindset of your guys. We're going to win the game, and even if you are the backups, it's habits. You don't want, especially high school kids, to develop bad habits to be reckless with the ball, not care about the outcome of the game, not continue to play tough defense. Because I've seen some of those games that Trotwood played, people will be at the game and they'll be going on Facebook Live and everything like that. When they're on offense, they're running 4 corners, but the defense stays the defense. Like, that's just is what it is. That you keep turning the ball over.
What it is. Is what it is. Is what
I'm
it
not.
is.
If I get a steal,
a team by 100.
If I get a steal, I'm getting the layup.
Not in high school. In high school, you don't beat teams by 100.
So
now, if you do it within the realm of, okay, I pulled my press off and I got my bench in, but my goodness.
So if Johnny is on the team and he's the backup, he's getting all the business in practice going up against the starters, and he finally gets in the game and gets a steal. He's going to dribble it out? No, you earned it in practice, and now you earned it in the game by getting that steal. Get that layup.
All right, let's see who's. Just bring him on. We'll ask him who this is. Oh, he's already out. He hung up. 457-946. I'm curious people's thoughts on this. But baseball fans and really sports fans in general, is there at the pro level? There is no mercy rule at the pro level, by the way. In college, there should not be a mercy rule. And I'm not even a big advocate for the mercy rule in high school. I just think it should be self-governed in high school. Common sense should say, hey, maybe we shouldn't just embarrass this team by 100. Like, that's where I'm at with that. All right? I just got to do a better job of not making my opinion sound like I'm attacking people whose teams are doing that, because that's basically the trouble I got in 2 years ago. I like Coach Rockhold, and I even apologized for it. I said, hey, I'm just not a fan of teams beating other teams by 100 in high school. That's just me.
And be clear, like, they weren't beating Wayne by 100, Centerville by 100. This is beating.
Was it Greenville?
Hey, man.
I think it was Greenville.
Sorry.
How about that? But yeah, baseball fans, I mean, is it okay to swing at an 0-3 count with your team up big late in the game? Absolutely. Swing for the fences every time. And you got, I mean, look, for one, don't you got like bonus? What's that called in your contract? Not bonuses, but you're, oh man, I'm literally losing my mind. I can't think of. Regardless, swing for the fences incentives. There we go. Incentives every single time. By the way, we got some answers coming in now. Kyle says your job is to win the game, especially with the shortened season. Ooh, I agree. How about Ron going on Hembo on this here? Hembo from on ESPN's Get Up in the Morning. He's their stats guy. Look at Ron coming in for the save. The Padres lost 4 games last season. Oh, I can't do it. Padres lost 4 games at least. Well, 7. What are you talking about, Ron? I was trying to give you credit. Last season, the Padres lost 4 games after leading by 7 or more. So, it's in their DNA. To me, and by the way, what is considered too large a lead in base? The Reds were down 9-1 last week, I believe. Was that against the Pirates? You got down 9-1 against the Pirates. That's embarrassing. You shouldn't take days off due to COVID. You should take days off for being down 9-1 to the Pirates. More of the Justin Kinner Show when we come back. Do you lay a bunt down in the 9th inning to end a no-no? We'll answer that. That's also coming in from Ron. Yes!
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at the Mopar Service Center at your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership.
Foot odor throwing you off your game? Stick to a winning game plan with odor readers featuring 3 advanced odor and wetness fighters. The lineup provides long-lasting odor control plus more to keep your feet on their game.
Odor Readers powder provides outstanding moisture control. Clear drying spray is the MVP in preventing athlete's foot, while insoles work continuously to manage wetness while adding a layer of comfort. Pick up today at Walmart, Target, CVS, Dollar General, or other fine retailers.
Odor Eaters. Destroy foot odor with the best in odor defense.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? Well, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday. All the dolls feel like the same doll these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's a new season. And it's Sport Clips haircuts. All of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
And you be stepping out like a pro.
I'm thinking of you. What kinder words could be more meaningful at a time like this? At First Florist and Greenhouses, we know everyone is coping the best they can. And when hugs are not possible, a kind word or gesture can bring comfort and a smile. So today, make that phone call or send a heartfelt note to someone you care about. And if you'd like to send a fresh bouquet of flowers, we can help with that. We're First Florist and Greenhouses at 1306 Troy Street in Dayton, a local family-owned business since 1905. And we're thinking of you.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. Save money with pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate. Call a local Allstate agent and get a quote.
Reds fans, don't miss the Justin Kinner Show, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. You'll get the latest Reds news, headlines, lineups, player features, and recaps. Don't miss a game or a show on Dayton's home of the Reds, ESPN 1410, Wing AM. All sports sports all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
All right, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We closed out hour 2, of course, discussing the situation in Major League Baseball last night. Excuse me. That's why you don't, try to chug water before getting back on the air quickly. Fernando, again, with the Padres last night, it was one of those situations where, he brings up the unwritten rules in baseball. And I don't even think it's a baseball conversation at this point. It's in sports. Every sport has their unwritten rules, and last night Fernando Tatis again steps up to the plate for the Padres. The Padres are up 10-3, top of the 8th inning. The bases are loaded, and he's facing a 3-0 count. You're up big. Do you really need to be that aggressive when you're up big? He should have just maybe, in the eyes of most, taken the pitch, draw the walk. The one run will come in, but hey, if that one run comes in, it's because of the pitcher. Well, to me, if you throw a pitch that just gets blasted out of the ballpark, that's on the pitcher too. I mean, why are we mad at the guy that hit the grand slam, which is what you're supposed to praise them for, but the guy that gave up the grand slam, we're not mad at him? I mean, that's not your job, is to go out there to prevent what Fernando, Tatis did last night. It's an absolute joke, but every sport has those unwritten rules. And, Mike on Facebook, he says, again, we're live on Facebook, by the way. Search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook. You can watch us live every day from 3 to 6. Mike says, chicks dig the long ball, buddy. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Now, we've had this conversation before. Yes, chicks dig the long ball, but there's also a part of me that believes that the long ball isn't what drives ratings. Last season alone, and I haven't checked what the total home run numbers are for this season, but last year alone, there was more home runs last season than at any point during the seasons during the steroid era. Mm-hmm. People, I love hearing that all the time. Oh, the home runs, that's honestly what led to the ratings being so high during the steroid era. I said, it's not that the players were on steroids. It's which players were on steroids. It was the stars. You can give Josh Van Meter steroids. It's not going to make him more watchable. He's not people aren't rushing to their, TVs or radios to watch or listen to Josh Van Meter hit a ball, but if maybe you give some of the stars, like what if Bryce Harper's on roids? He's at least marketable, give him a little extra juice, no pun intended, right? Like, come on, the thing that the steroids did is you took who were already stars in baseball and you elevated them even bigger. Baseball today has some stars, but they're not elevated even big. Like, imagine Mike Trout playing in the steroid era. He would be even bigger than what he is today. And I don't mean like physically, I just mean from a star standpoint. I don't know. Again, best player in baseball, but I don't know how big of a star he actually is in the big, scheme of things. I think last year, the top 100 most popular athletes, or that list that came out from ESPN earlier this summer, it's list season. It was a list year with no live sports for as long. There wasn't even a baseball player in the top 100. Like, that's insane to me. Even the top 100 highest paid players are, not highest paid. It was just the top 10 fan favorites. I forgot what the list was. I got to go back and find it. I remember us talking about it during the season. But yeah, baseball, just nowhere on that list. How about Ron? Ron says, do you lay a bunt and a no-no in the 9th inning? Yes.
Yes.
You do what you got to do to not get, for one, no hit or shutout. I'm not going to make it easy on you. By the way, if I'm facing a pitcher that has a no-hitter and they put the shift on me and we can't seem to get any kind of momentum going, of course I'm going to lay down a bunt down that third base line. And by the way, even if there's not a no-hitter going, why do you lay down that bunt up the third base line and get the hell to first base? Why players don't do that is, still beyond me.
What if it's 1-0?
Oh,
we
exactly.
can still win the game.
No, people get so angry that I will bunt in a heartbeat if it means ending a no-hitter. And even if not, let's say it's 5-0 and it's bottom of the ninth and there's 2 outs and all you got to do is just take the third strike and end it. He has this no-hitter. You want that guy? You want to just hand him a no-hitter?
Right.
No, I'm laying down a bunt to end a no-hitter if I have to. I don't care. I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't have an issue with a lot of this stuff.
So here's a hypothetical. It's Game 7 of the World Series. You're down 1-0. The pitcher you're going up against has a no. You just supposed to let them strike you out and they win the World Series? No, you bunt. You do anything you possibly can do to get on base to give your team a chance to win.
Yep.
And I know this is like cliche. This is an Allen Iverson cliche, not the one about practice, but the whole play every game like it's your last. Like, isn't that the point of playing sports, to win the game?
Hello. You play to win the game.
You have to do anything you can to get on base. If that's laying down a bunt, you lay down a bunt to get on base, to give your chance a chance to win the game. Like, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand half the unwritten rules in baseball. You're showing up somebody, you're laying down a bunt, and he's supposed to be trying to get a no. I'm trying to win. Yep. I don't know what you're trying to do. I'm trying to win.
Well, for instance, how many times do we see a pitcher strike out a batter and they fist pump and they point up at the sky and they get all pumped? Oh yeah. Now, which by the way I have no problem with. Show emotion. You just struck a guy out. Yeah. These are the best ball players in the world. You just struck one of course. Now, I expect the freedom to have the opposite encounter happen. If you give up, I mean, if you could strike someone out and show them up by fist pumping and pointing up to the sky and be, showing emotion, why is that not disrespectful? But when your pitcher gives up a home run, that guy who hit the home run is supposed to just slowly jog around the bases. Don't smile. You might hurt the pitcher's feeling. No, I'm going to let that dude know I just hit a home run.
Yeah, it ain't like
the bat flip thing and all that. Give me a break.
Like, okay, the bat flip. Okay, you beam. I'm really still not a fan of that. But like,
why?
I'm just saying, like, if they do it, like, I'm not a fan of them getting hit with a pitch because he did a bat flip. It's not like the dude's doing the electric slide down third base as he's crossing home plate. Like, that's showing you up. Okay, fine.
Well, pace of play.
People aren't doing that. People are getting excited to hit a home run, which you should be doing. It's very hard to do.
Now, I'm with you. And again, I just don't get what people's obsession is with that, with the unwritten rules in baseball. I don't want to hear about tradition. And as fans, does it bother you as fans if the players show emotion? The KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, the one thing that I really thought was interesting about that, we had Jared Hoying from Fort Laramie on who played or was at least, on one of the rosters with the KBO when the season started. We had him on just to kind of hear what the process was like as far as being quarantined and getting prepared to play during a pandemic. He shared how just the crowd, it's more fun to play in the KBO than in Major League Baseball, at least from the fans' perspective. It almost has like a soccer feel to it. The fans are doing the wave. They're excited every game. They have cheerleaders. If you hit a home run, you could flip the bat. I mean, it's just more fun to play. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is how you grow the sport from, let the young kids see how fun it is to play.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. You talk about how it's all about nostalgia. It's all about the history and the way we've always done things. Well, guess what, man? You have to keep the sport fresh and new for the young people, because the young people are going to be the one to carry the sport into the future, not only playing the sport, but watching the sport. So if they're watching NFL where guys are celebrating when they score touchdowns, and then they're watching LeBron James hit a game-winning shot and everybody mob him on his team and everything like that, they're allowed to show emotion and have fun. And if you watch baseball, it's like, if you have fun, you get beamed for it.
Yep.
I mean, in hockey, when they win a game, like after every round in the playoffs in hockey, they get drunk. They party like they won the Stanley Cup already after every round. So those sports look like they're having fun. In baseball, if you do something good, it's almost like you're punished. That's not good, man. That's not a way you want to keep the sport growing. You want the sport to grow, and the way you continue it to grow is to have young people be invested in the sport and say, this sport is fun. This is something that everybody can come and play and enjoy. Like, that's before you even get to the major leagues. That you want to have fun, and you're taking the fun out of the game, man.
All right, Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. All right. Keep in mind, there's many ways you can be involved in the show. Of course, we're getting a lot of interaction on Facebook in the comment section. We're live on Facebook every day. You can watch the Justin Kinner Show full video production on Facebook. Search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook and hang out with us every afternoon. We appreciate no matter how you listen. You can listen on air, online, on the stream at wingam.com, or of course, watch us live here on Facebook. But it's interesting hearing everyone's different takes on this as far as this is concerned. But Mike says, I agree with Justin. I think he apologized because the next unwritten rule is that he is going to take one in the ribs. Exactly. And by the way, like I'm not condoning what the Astros did over the last couple of years, but this might sound like an older take, but I'm not a fan of pitchers throwing at people's heads, and I don't want to hear that. It slipped. It's the one time it slips. We sit here and, again, when a pitcher gets a line drive blasted at their head, what do? Oh, man, we gotta come up with something to protect these pitchers, man. All right, and that's an accident. When a ball comes off a bat and it hits a pitcher, that's an accident. But when a little crybaby wussy pitcher who had his feelings hurt throws a ball 98 miles per hour at a player's head, that's that'll teach him. Give me a break. That is ridiculous. And I'm tired of, hearing about that. That is, you know what I mean? Like you're literally throwing a hard object at someone's head because you don't like the way they played the game. Like that's so childish. Like it really is. And hitters can't defend themselves. They can. So why can a pitcher throw a ball 98 miles per hour at someone's head to scare them, but I with the bat can't run out to the mound and pretend that I'm going to just pop him in the head one time with the bat? You know what I mean? Like that's what they should do. If a pitcher cheats, every time a hitter steps into the box, I run at the pitcher full speed and just pretend that I'm going to hit him. And one of these times I might accidentally just make contact with the bat and say, oh, sorry, it slipped.
My bad.
It's no dang different. Who we got? Anthony in Cincinnati. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Justin, really enjoy your show.
Thank you. What are you up to? What are you doing?
Talking to you right now about these dumb unwritten rules. Baseball needs to be more concerned about what's going on, having a plan for this pandemic. When the playoffs start. Have you heard any word about this at all?
Repeat that question again. What's that?
Does baseball have a contingency plan for a possible bubble or location sites for the playoffs?
There were reports of that, and honestly, because here's what I think they should do, and Kev, I'm curious your thoughts on this too, for baseball, to limit the amount of travel in the playoffs. What I believe they should do is it's going to be hard to create a bubble environment. However, what you can do to limit the amount of movement amongst players and teams is, I believe, to add that home field advantage, because it's tough to have home field advantage when you don't have fans there. But here's how you get that home field advantage: the comfort of hosting the entire series on your home field. So if the Reds win the NL Central, their first playoff game, regardless of their opponent, the entire playoff series should be held in Cincinnati. And that's the reward for having the better record and having the higher seed. You know what I mean? No. Like that would be one way to limit the back and forth of carrying the virus around if teams have it. But Anthony, that's a good question. Right now we're seeing teams who have positive tests that are missing games weeks at a time. How do you do that in the playoffs? That's very difficult to do.
Just like Justin, okay, the Reds have a supposedly a doubleheader tomorrow.
No, they do have a doubleheader.
Next 4 games in St. Louis.
Yep.
Now, can the Reds do what the Washington Nationals did when all this nightmare started? The team took a vote to go to Miami when all this started, and they voted no. Can the Reds do that with the mess there that happened with the Cardinals? Can they actually do that?
Well, that's a good point, and I don't think Major League Baseball is going to be too thrilled about that. Major League Baseball worked very hard to put the Cardinals in a position to make up the 15 games they missed to start the season. So if they miss more games because teams are hesitant to go play at St. Louis like the Reds are going to be doing later this week, Anthony, that's a great question. I don't anticipate that happening, but you're right. They very well could. The Braves did it, as you mentioned earlier in the year. With the Marlins.
There's been no talk about that, and I feel like the Cardinals missed what? They missed the whole road trip.
They missed 15 games, man. They missed 15 games.
Double headers.
Yeah, they missed 15 games. So keep that in mind. That's a lot. I mean, the Reds were 20 games into the season when the Cardinals finally played their 6th game of the season. So keep that in mind. Anthony, anything else?
Yeah, and matter of fact, with the Cardinals, and this has been talked about, I wanted to hear your perspective about, say the Cardinals, right now, they haven't played 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
What if they play only 40 games and, they've got a better winning percentage, say a team like my Chicago White Sox, who they just played, they have a better winning percentage. What does baseball do then? You have to go with the better winning percentage because it's not their fault that,
No, and that's a good question as far as that's concerned. And Anthony, thank you for the call. We have to, get to this commercial stop here. But keep in mind, that's going to be the big concern moving forward is what do you do for teams who are not able or capable of finishing a full 60-game season? Like, let's say the Reds, who just missed 2 with the Pirates and technically 1 tonight with the Royals, but they'll make that up tomorrow in the doubleheader. But let's say the Reds finish with 58 games, and the Cubs finished with 60 and the Reds somehow finished with a record better than the Cubs, which won't happen obviously at this point. You got to ask, why are we going to use win percentage for some teams and not others? Other teams played a full 60 and that's going to be held against them. The baseball is going to find themselves in a situation where they got to make a tough decision as far as that's concerned. The Cardinals, though, they've made up already 5 games. They have another game tonight. They're making them up quick. They're going to catch up quick. It's just a matter of they cannot afford another hiccup along the way. Their margin for error is slim.
Or rain.
Yeah, weather. I mean, weather's another thing to consider as we move forward. I mean, it's mid-August. We're heading into the final 6 weeks of the regular season, and then the playoffs, boom, are here. NBA playoffs are officially underway as well.
Yeah,
Triple headers pretty much every day this week. The number 1 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks, go down at the hands of the Orlando Magic earlier this afternoon.
Aaron Gordon didn't even play.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. It's tough. Vegas there was no clear-cut favorite to win the NBA championship this year. It's easier to say the Lakers or Clippers, but with no home court advantage for anybody. I mean, that's why in basketball, that's why all the teams that don't have the guts to play home and away games because they want to hide on neutral sites. There's a reason they do that because they don't want to go on the road and play teams. It drives me nuts about UD. They don't want to go play Georgia at Georgia, but my goodness, they'll play them in a Maui Invitational. All right, they won't go play Michigan State at Michigan State, but man, they would love a neutral site game. With the teams don't want to play teams on the road, and that's a college example, by the way, because that home court advantage truly exists. But you're seeing in the NBA playoffs right now, what's the incentive to being the home team? None. None. Right now, these are basically neutral site playoffs, and that's closing the gap in talent as far as that is concerned. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 79 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy down to a low of 55. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 81. I'm Leanna Ray for 1410 ESPN Radio.
At Advance Auto Parts, we have same-day delivery, same-day contact-free curbside pickup, and same-day in-store pickup to help you stay on the go. But we also have CarQuest brakes to help you stop. And this month, get up to a $50 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase CarQuest brake pads and rotors online, in-store, or via our app. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Today, pros have to do whatever it takes. The Home Depot is here to make that easier. We've got the products you know and trust on our app, delivery options to get what you need exactly where you need it, and a delivery tracker that keeps you up to date on the status of your order so you can keep doing what you do best, whatever it takes to get the job done. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Total Wine & More is pleased to announce Points with a Purpose, our way of saying thanks by investing in the communities we serve. Now through September 13th, collect 5 times points on thousands of wines and spirits. For every point earned, a matching donation will be made to local charities, up to $2 million in total. A point for you is a point for your community. That's points with a purpose. Come shop with us today or visit TotalWine.com. See website for details.
Welcome to another fantastic 4 golf hole experience with the Buy Golf for Half Bogey Boys.
Me and the guys are back at Meadowbrook Golf Club in Clayton, Ohio. Meadowbrook is now open to the public, and what a value. It's rated one of the top 25 golf courses in Ohio. Today we're at the par 4 number 6, one of the narrowest fairways on the course. My drive hooks left at the end, but the trees open up, so I'm safe there. I have to lay up so I can have a shot at the green. The worst thing on this hole is to go over the green because you may never come back. Today, my irons are hot. My third shot ends up 8 feet from the hole, and I sink my putt for a par. Wow, that is what keeps me coming back. If you love to play golf, you need to get your pals together and play this course. Stay tuned. Me and the Buy Golf for Half Bogey Boys will be back soon with another Fantastic 4 golf hole experience. See you at the next hole.
Visit buygolfforhalf.com for half-price golf packages from Meadowbrook at Clayton and other great local golf courses around the Miami Valley.
Champagne Dental, taking the fear out of dentistry.
Champagne Dental Group in Urbana recognizes that dental phobias are real. If phobias are preventing you from getting dental treatment, we have numerous options to keep you comfortable and ease your fears. We offer multiple methods to help relax you while you're in the chair, which include oral sedation, medication, and nitrous oxide free of charge. Our friendly and caring staff make it their mission to get you the smile you desire. Visit us online at champagnedentalgroup.org.
Champagne Dental, taking the fear out of dentistry.
Welcome to Pipestone Golf Club with a 4-star rating from Golf Digest and recognized as the best course to play. Pipestone is a favorite in the Miami Valley. The Arthur Hills design masterpiece is carved into the sweeping foothills and ancient oaks of southwestern Ohio. The course provides a quality challenge to golfers of all levels, and everyone is welcome. Be sure to call for a tee time, then bring your friends and play America's greatest game on a golf course that truly sets itself apart. Pipestone, a great golf experience.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Buckeye Ford in Sydney, home of the Works Package and the Double Take Tire Specials. Call today for your appointment, 937-419-8473 or 1-800-700-0050. Buckeye Ford in Sydney, exit 92 off of I-75. We'll see you soon.
Hi folks, it's me again, and I'm cooking in the sun just like you are. But you know, you can still plant those trees and shrubs right now, and with proper watering, still gain a full summer's growth. We keep our garden center fully stocked all summer long with thousands of good, healthy trees, shrubs, evergreens, perennials, and annuals, because we know that some folks just can't get it all done in the spring. Also, this time of year, there are lots of bargains all over our 6-acre nursery and greenhouses. We have potted rose bushes as low as $14.95, plats of annuals starting at $12.95, and hanging baskets as low as $6.95. We still have a great selection of Rose of Sharon, boxwoods, hydrangeas, and barberry. So come out to 1309 Brant Pike, and remember, we're open 7 days.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Let the light in with the Larson Lakeview Full View Storm Door. This door provides the most natural light to your interior spaces and features an included interchangeable screen and glass inserts for seasonal ventilation. $189.99 after 11% off. Start saving today with 11% off everything. Prices are good until August 22nd. Savings are mail-in rebates. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-721-4880. That's 800-721-4880. 800-721-4880. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples.
When I say Central Ohio's premier link-style golf course, what do you think of? It should be Windy Knoll Golf Club in Springfield. What used to be a world-class horse farm is now a stunning link-style golf course, complete with full-size steel horse sculptures and black rail fencing all around the course. And it's open to the public. Windy Knoll offers a challenge to golfers of all levels. Outstanding course conditions add to a truly exceptional golf experience. Get your friends together and come out and play at Windy Knoll Golf Club in Springfield.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots. He's Dayton's own Keith Byers. Hang out with him every Monday at noon on The Keith Byers Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. And, the news that we were expecting today, good news, Governor DeWine announces that school sports can happen this year, but only family members and band members can attend the games. Now, can family members of the band show up? I'm just saying.
Good point.
But how? I mean, I'm being serious here. These are some big schools around here.
Yep.
How many players are on a football team, roughly?
I would say,
let's say 30, 40. That low? I don't know.
So I'm assuming
just varsity, because you're probably not, in a regular normal situation, you're going to dress some of your JV, maybe a freshman or two, but you're not dressing anyone that doesn't need to be there.
I would imagine about 60.
There's no freshman football this year, right?
Yes, freshman football.
So there's okay. So that's still good. So there's JV games then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, so you're not going to have those extras on Friday nights as far as that goes. So
I don't think they'll be at the game selling raffle tickets at the game this year, though.
But I mean, I don't know. Like if you're an athletic director for a local high school or any high school, how do you know who's family and who's not? Are you gonna have a 23andMe that you're checking everyone's family tree when they walk up to the stadium? Like, what are you doing?
Get that cheek swab.
Yeah. Like, oh, you tested for COVID? No, I'm going to make sure you're part of this family. You might uncover some stuff that maybe some families weren't aware of. They might find out they're not family. But in all seriousness, how are you going to be able to do that? I mean, it's not like every athletic director knows the immediate families of every single player.
Right.
Maybe they do. I don't know, but these are some big schools around here. How are they going to be able to decipher who that is and who's not? Like that's amazing to me, how they're going to be able to figure that out. The other thing I'm seeing a lot of on Facebook right now is, I thought today, by the way, that's great news about there going to be high school football this fall. Mm-hmm. Kev, it's a dark place on social media right now. People are still angry. You know what the news today did?
What's that?
It just pissed off Buckeye fans even more. It just made Big Ten football fans mad even more. I can't even get on Facebook right now and enjoy the excitement of we have high school football, which is supposed to be the epitome of of local community sports, right? Like it's supposed to bring communities together. People aren't even happy that high school sports are back. All I'm seeing on Facebook is, oh, okay, so Centerville can kick off, but Ohio State can't. Yes, you asked a stupid question. You already knew the answer to that. Yes. And people stop trying to spin it to make it like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does. It makes complete sense. All right. This wasn't a Governor DeWine said Ohio State couldn't play football, but everyone else can. This is the Big Ten said you can. Direct your anger towards the Big Ten and just be happy that there's going to be local high school football. Like, what is wrong with you people? It's like, knock it off. Stop being negative in everything. Like, stop being negative on everything, right? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get the correlation between the two. It's like yesterday, and I'm still seeing it on Facebook today. The obsession with the fact that Kevin Warren's son is playing football. Like, they literally have media. And by the way, they're dropping the kid's name in the news all the time. They're angry. There's a watch to see if he's going to report to practice, if he's been practicing. Oh, Warren's son report. I guess he's a fullback at Mississippi State or something like that. Tight end. Oh, he showed up to practice today. Okay, and leave him alone. That's messed up, dude. Like, I'm tired of every time I get on social media, I'm seeing people attack Kevin Warren's son for playing football. Don't be mad at him because their commissioner said it was okay for him to play.
And it's like you said so yesterday as well. Man. It's not only Kevin Warren, it's also the presidents of each university in the Big Ten. Like, they voted to shut it down as well. Yeah. So you need to look at the presidents of the universities. You talked about high school football starting up and people going ballistic that Ohio State isn't going to be playing. There's other schools that aren't going to be playing as well. There's Kent's not going to be playing. Akron, Bowling Green, Toledo, Miami of Ohio.
Real football teams, though.
But there's a ton of kids from this area that go to these schools and play football. And
but my opinions are always based on the national appeal, not the good old,
we're live and local.
Huh?
We're live and local.
Yeah, well, when Miami of Ohio kicks off here in the 937, let me know. So until then, I support all the local kids, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, hey, your program is this, we all know the Power Five. We gloat about the Power Five, but then we try to convince people that everyone else matters too. The college football playoff is a prime example of if you're not in the Power Five, you don't matter, period.
They matter.
Okay. That MAC championship.
Absolutely, man.
We saw what that MAC champion looked like. They got beat, 70-something to nothing by Ohio. Oh, no, 70-something to 5.
Yeah.
And then you had Buckeye people last year.
Jump out to that 5-0 lead, baby.
When they won the MAC championship, everyone's like, I can't believe. And then everyone is saying Ohio State didn't play anybody this year. Oh, LSU played Texas. That's a bad Texas team. Ohio State beat the MAC champion. And I'm like, I feel bad for some of you Buckeye fans that literally wake up in the morning and think that way. Ohio State played a great schedule. They beat the MAC champion. Give me a break.
Man, UC is the only D1 team scheduled to play.
And they're a step above the rest.
Never thought I'd see that, man. Crazy.
Yep, almost 50-0 last year. They lost to the real team in Ohio and Ohio State. So, but they're a feel-good team, and they beat Tulsa.
Ooh, this guy.
They beat Tulsa. They were fighting champions that day.
They also beat UCLA.
Okay.
2 years in a row.
Yep. Then UCLA. You see
that? They're a Power 5 team.
I know. You know what? Good for them. Good for them. But beating UCLA is not good enough to get you in the college football playoff.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out to beat
USC.
Shots out to Coach Fickell.
Maybe don't get shut out 48-0 against the type of team that you're trying to convince everybody that we should be in the conversation for the college football playoff. Well, the only team that you play that's even in the conversation for the playoff just beat you 48-0, and this is one of your better teams in program history, and you're going to sit there and wave that flag. No, you're a cute little bear cat. Just sit over there and growl or whatever it is a bear cat does, or meow. What's a bear cat do? What is a bear cat?
Attack.
What is a bear cat? It doesn't attack Buckeyes, apparently.
In basketball, they do.
In basketball, not technically, no. They couldn't beat the Buckeyes the last 2 years. How about that? Chris Holtmann, a basketball coach, a basketball program that is not afraid to go play other in-state opponents on the road. They didn't sit there and say, why are we going to fill up Cincinnati's arena with Buckeye fans? No. They just said, okay, well, yeah, we'll play you at your place and we'll beat you. And they took care of it. They did it. They didn't hide behind boosters and other stuff that's keeping it from, there you go.
That is funny, though. A lot of people hate Gene Smith, but, look at his hiring record, man. Look at the people he's hired at Ohio State.
Well, Urban Meyer hired Ryan Day, so let's just be clear as far as
for sure.
Gene Smith had to sign off on it, but he had no choice. If Gene Smith would have done,
brought in Holtmann at the last second.
Who else were you going to get? You signed him in July?
I'm just saying.
Who else? I mean, and by the way, Holtmann's fantastic, but let's be clear here. The coach that was here before Anthony Grant at Dayton, that would have been the hire at Ohio State. So I'm not going to give him credit because he just took what was left. You took the best of what was left, and actually the best of what was left was better than what was coaching at the school here in town before that.
I'm just saying, man.
I mean, everyone's like, oh, Chris Holtmann, they had a down year 2 years ago or whatever. If a down year is still an NCAA tournament appearance, I'll take a down year every year.
Facts.
I mean, this city loses its mind if it makes it to a Elite 8 or Sweet 16. You know, I'm just saying, like, come on. I'll take Chris Holtmann any day. Now, Anthony Grant and Chris Holtmann, who are you taking right now? A year ago, I would have said easy, Chris Holtmann, no question asked. But Anthony Grant's really kind of shifted me a little bit because, I mean, Anthony Grant, although has had a couple bad seasons, the one really good season has outweighed anything that Holtmann has done at Ohio State. Now, Chris Holtmann in Ohio State has done some fantastic things in the non-conference. Like they have some huge non-conference wins over Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like wins over teams like that. But Anthony Grant, this past season, I mean, they were up there with the biggest teams in the country. I mean, there was no looking at them as an A-10 school. They were looked at as one of the best teams in the country. I mean, nearly beat Kansas in overtime in Maui.
I want to see Holtmann with this heralded recruiting class. I want to see how he handles these big time guys coming into Ohio State, these guys that are projected to be NBA players in the future. He strikes me as a coach's coach, like a guy that loves getting, you know, guys and putting them in the right positions to win games.
Talking about Holtmann right now, right?
Yeah, talking about him trying to get winning games off of strategy and everything like that. I want to see how he does with guys with super high expectations of themselves and expectations of them making it to the league, how he's going to deal with that different aspect of guys that aren't just like, all right, going to be good college basketball players. These guys are expected to be good college basketball players and to play in the league one day. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between that. There's a difference between playing or coaching guys that aren't expected to make it to the NBA. You know, there's egos involved. There's like, hey, man, my son ain't getting enough touches. He ain't getting enough shots. Why y'all running ISOs for so-and-so instead of ISOs for my son? Like all that type of stuff happens when you get expectations, and he's going to be dealing with high expectations with this upcoming recruiting class. So I want to see Holtmann with them before I make a judgment.
And Holtmann's been killing it. I mean, he's been right back at it as far as recruiting the state and getting some of those players in the country, not just in the country, but in the state. Obviously, there, Chris Holtmann's done a fantastic job. Anthony Grant has done a fantastic job as far as, you know, taking over for Anthony. I don't like when people say Archie left the cupboard bare. You know, you had that Nazir, I think it was Jay-Z's nephew. Who was it that had committed here?
But he went,
you know,
did he go to Oregon?
I don't know where. I forgot where he went. I think it was Washington.
Yeah,
and then you had the point guard that went to Colorado that was supposed to be really good. Like, I don't want to hear that Archie left the cupboard bare, because when Archie left, there was a really good recruiting class coming in, and it's the responsibility of the coach taking over to keep that class intact. And just because he didn't keep that class intact doesn't mean that, oh, Archie left him with nothing. He left you with a good recruiting class, and it's not, you know, you ended up with Svoboda or whatever the hell his name was. He ended up not working out. You got, Antetokounmpo, who, by the way, is just getting better and better. Like, I think, every time you hear any critiques of Antetokounmpo right now, Coach DeSantis, they say he's better at this point in his career in the NBA than his brother was at that point. He's developing faster than what his brother. Will he be better than his brother? Doubt it. But it is interesting to hear that as far as comparing the two at their ages to where they are now. It's going to be interesting. I do know this. You're going to see Obi and Antetokounmpo running up and down the floor next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not together, obviously, but I mean, potentially against one another. That's going to be interesting, seeing some UD blood running up and down the floor a little bit. We've seen Chris Wright and Brian Roberts and some others, but you're going to see Obi. He's going to be an everyday player. That's what's going to be cool about that. And Kostas, he's on the everyday roster for the Lakers. Well, we see him tonight. Lakers in playoff action for the first time since 2016?
Yeah, man, been a long time.
No, I think it's before 2016. Oh my goodness, it was 2010. It's been a decade since the Lakers have been in the playoffs, because they didn't make the playoffs the last couple years of Kobe.
Yeah, and they didn't make the playoffs last year with your precious LeBron James there.
Well, I'm sorry that precious LeBron James didn't have all the help that MJ did. I mean, let's be real. You're really going to get me going? Damn it, Cap.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
O'Reilly Auto Parts can help make your auto maintenance easier. So when your car isn't stopping like it used to, our professional parts people will help you find the brake parts and supplies to do the job right the first time. Right now, get 15% off a set of brake vest pads and 2 rotors, plus O'Reilly Brake Cleaner, 2 for $5. Stop by or visit O'ReillyAuto.com today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's our biggest sale of the year where all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Welcome to another Fantastic Four golf hole experience with the Buy Golf for Half Bogey Boys.
Me and the boys are in Miamisburg, Ohio today at the classic Arthur Hills designed Pipestone Golf Club. Pipestone is one of the most popular courses in the Miami Valley, and it's in fantastic condition. It's a beautiful golf course. We're at the tee on the 6th hole. It's a par 5 and one of the most beautiful holes in the entire course. You need to come out to Pipestone and see it for yourself. Unfortunately for me, though, there is trouble all over this hole, and I'm in it. When I finally see the fairway, I have a downhill lie, and I'm staring at an elevated green. I'm not up to the task, though, unfortunately. 3 shots later, I'm in the cup with a double bogey 7. No reason to be upset, though. I mean, there's another beautiful and challenging golf hole ahead. You should get your pals together, book a tee time, and come out and play Pipestone. Stay tuned for more Fantastic Four golf hole experiences with the Buy Golf for Half Bogey Boys. See you at the next hole.
Visit buygolfforhalf.com for half-price golf packages from Pipestone and other great local golf courses around the Miami Valley.
It's the summer clearance event at Key Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At Key, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks, and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com, where you can complete all the aspects of a vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
Do you have foot pain? Did you know foot pain is not normal, regardless of your age, activities, or job? Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet based on their education, training, and experience. Your podiatrist can provide you with important foot care solutions like shoe inserts, so you're able to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association members are bound by the highest ethical standards and have access to superior ongoing medical education and resources. Ask if your podiatrist is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best. After all, we've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. To find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Have you been out to play golf at Meadowbrook yet? You probably know by now that Meadowbrook Country Club is now Meadowbrook at Clayton and open to the public. Meadowbrook is rated one of the top 25 golf courses in Ohio. Beautiful country club classic golf now available to everyone. Get your golf buddies together and book a tee time and come out and play. And stop in at the grill for great food and drinks. Check us out online at meadowbrookatclayton.com. Meadowbrook Country Club is now open to the public. Come out and play.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers with home daily lanes. $2,000 sign-on bonus, great pay and benefits. Contact Cody. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation. Driven to succeed.
You have empty office space to fill. You know what you need, and you know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places that what you need and what you'd like, that might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week there's something new. If you need office furniture, Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half price and below manufacturer suggested prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best, really. Desks from $50 to $5,000. File cabinets, $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Outlet. With 87,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet, 2 locations, one at 23 McOil Street, Dayton, the other Uniques Unlimited on South Dixie. Open Monday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 4.
First Florist and Greenhouses is the official florist of ESPN 1410 for celebrations, memorials, or to simply show you care. Remember First Florist, 1306 Troy Street in Dayton. Shop online at firsttheflorist.com. FURST theflorist.com.
What's hot for business this week at Staples?
Small prices, big savings.
Help your business go big with amazing prices from Staples.
From paper and ink to masks and hand sanitizer.
This week at Staples, get 20% off your in-store purchase of all PPE products, like hand sanitizer and masks. Go to staples.com/20 off PPE for your coupon.
Plus, you can shop in-store or pick up curbside.
Save big this week at Staples.
Ends 8/22. In-store only. Exclusions apply. See store for details. Curbside available in most stores.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Check it out, Limu. Got a brand new motorcycle jacket and matching leather pants. Now let's go for a ride and tell everyone that Liberty Mutual customizes their motorcycle insurance. So you only pay for what you need. Oh my gosh, this leather does not breathe well. You can't suffocate in leather, can you?
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Have you played Turtle Creek Golf Course yet? Formerly Greenville Country Club, Turtle Creek has local, state, and national recognition for excellence. They also have some world-class facilities, like the famous Thirsty Turtle Lounge, a full-service restaurant and bar with seating for up to 200 guests. Come try the Turtle's famous chicken wings, or Fish Fridays, Steak Saturdays, or Sunday brunch. Learn more at www.turtlecreekon36.com. Turtle Creek Golf Course and the Thirsty Turtle Lounge. Great food, great golf, and a great experience.
If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. Save money with pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate. Call a local Allstate agent and get a quote.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER. And ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
Oh, Justin Fields, he's so loyal. If he's not playing for the Buckeyes, he's not going to play football at all. Do you believe that? Do you believe
yes,
that?
100%.
I don't. I believe that, okay, you have all the parents who are going to storm Normandy right now. They are all heading to the Big Ten headquarters, and they are going to demand answers. All right, you have all these Big Ten parents who are storming the Big Ten headquarters to demand answers. Let's say they get answers, but it's still not the answers we want to hear. And there's just no. And look, by the way, I do not believe the Big Ten season is going to resume. But once, like all of this fighting that's going on, all the petitions, all of the outcry on social media, everyone is going through this. Everyone is doing all of this in hopes of putting enough pressure on Kevin Warren and the Big Ten to reverse the decision and maybe get a season going. So, with that being said. Let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say that with all the pandering and all of the pressure that they're trying to put on Kevin Warren and company, it doesn't work, which I don't think it's going to. With that being said, so it doesn't work. And Kevin Warren comes out and says he understands everyone's passion and frustrations, but you know what? They are not going to reboot the season. There will be no Big Ten season. At that point, the door is officially closed on Justin Fields. Justin Fields says all he wants to do is play. I believe that is a mindset he has for the fall. I do not believe that's the mindset he wants for the spring. And Kevin, I don't think you were here last week when I talked about this. The fact is we got to stop calling it a spring season, because if we're kicking off in January, let's call it what it is. It's winter. Is your mic on? See,
there we go. There we go.
It's winter. We need to stop calling it spring football, because if the Buckeyes do kick off in the spring, they're not kicking off in April, folks. They're kicking off in January. That's winter. Justin Fields ain't going to be playing in January. Like, people are like, oh, well, he won't play in the spring because of the NFL draft. He ain't going to play in January because it's freaking cold, and you don't want your numbers taking a dip and a dive to, so when you start critiquing his quarterback play when it's, 16 degrees outside, of course his quarterback play is going to look a lot different in 16-degree weather versus, let's say even at the coldest temperatures at 40s or upper 30s. Okay, so of course that's not going to happen. I talked about this on Friday when you were out, but I do believe he will play if once the Big Ten officially, like, they've already closed the door in the season, but then they propped it back open a little bit, the parents and everyone. Kevin Warren, he's going to shut that door again here coming up soon. And when that happens, Justin Fields, I believe, might be tempted to enter the transfer portal. And how about this? Georgia quarterback JT Daniels has not yet been cleared from his torn ACL. On top of that, Jamie Newman, he's already missed a ton of time during the offseason workouts because of a mid-foot sprain, but he has recovered, and they're hoping is ready to go. They are being cautious with him. Point is if you're even a little vulnerable at quarterback, if you're Georgia, you already have that relationship open. You didn't leave, you and Fields did not split up on bad terms. All I'm saying is I wouldn't blame him one bit. I talked about this last week, and I'm going to keep talking about it until the fall season kicks off and Justin Fields is not on the roster. I still am going to believe that he's going to play at some point this fall, whether it's with Ohio State due to some miracle or because he enters the transfer portal, and we all know how much the portal loves quarterbacks.
Ohio State or bust. You're getting a better coach.
Well, it's already bust.
I'm just saying, that's it. Unless this miracle happens with the parents demanding answers and they cave in and they kick off a season with the Big Ten, that's the only way.
Why do you think that? What about him has been loyal? He made up a story to get out of Georgia, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if he made it up, but he used it as leverage. So let me reverse that. I don't think he made it up, but he definitely used it as leverage to get out. He is very good at taking advantage of. And again, now I need to stop because I'm making it sound like he's a bad person. But he did. Let's just be clear. He took advantage of a situation that, yes, I feel bad that he had to go through, but he used it as leverage. Mm-hmm. With that being said, so he's proven that he's willing to take advantage of a situation to do what's right for him. And I'm not even bad-mouthing him. And if he goes back to Georgia, it's not bad in my opinion, or anywhere, to be honest. You said LSU earlier. And
what's right for him currently is to play quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes under Ryan Day. That's the best thing for him right now.
But that doesn't exist though, Kev.
Right. Okay. And going to play quarterback for Kirby Smart ain't the move either. That just ain't the move. It's just not the move. You're not gonna get markedly better. And you talk about the spring football season. How is it gonna look? How's his numbers gonna look when he goes to Georgia? If he goes to Georgia and, all right, cramming to learn the new playbook, cramming to learn new receivers, cramming to get better timing, his numbers are going to look horrible. He's not going to be the quarterback that we saw last year.
Yeah, you got a new offensive coordinator. I think you touched on that.
All these different things you're going to throw in effect. If the Buckeyes aren't playing, you just chalk it and go ahead and get ready for the NFL draft. You pack up your stuff in Columbus, you head to whatever quarterback camp you're going to be going to, and you just pack up, leave, sign with an agent, get your advance money, and prepare for the NFL. There's no need to go play for anybody else.
The number 3 team in the country, though, they said if they put the updated polls out by taking out the Big Ten and Pac-12 teams, you have Clemson 1, Alabama 2, Georgia, LSU, Florida would be 3, 4, and 5, Oklahoma 6, Notre Dame 7. And then again, I'm more curious. Like they have Cincinnati at number 16.
This ain't a running back though.
UCF at number 13. Oh, I get it, but at the same time,
plug and play.
It could be.
This ain't plug and play, man. It's a quarterback.
It could work. It could work. It was plug and play for him at Ohio State.
Yeah, when he showed up doing spring ball and then throughout a whole summer.
But Kirby Smart's already coached him. He's familiar with them. And yes, I know it's the offensive coordinator's offense, but trust me, you adapt to your player. You don't make the player adapt to you. You know what he could do. You know what he could do. For one, the whole reason they brought in the new offensive coordinator.
In the face to Ryan Day and everything he's accomplished at Ohio State.
Who accomplished what?
Ryan Day.
What did they accomplish?
He dramatically changed the Ohio State offense.
Mm-hmm.
He made it a place where throwing quarterbacks want to come.
Yeah.
With Haskins and now Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason why Justin Fields came to Ohio State.
No, Jake Fromm's the reason that Justin Fields went to Ohio
Or
State.
the racist guy on the baseball.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's it. We're done. We're done. All right, no Reds baseball tonight, folks. We're going to pick up with it. I still, you never know. All right, so tomorrow, Reds baseball doubleheader. Our show will be cut in half. We'll be out of here at 4:35 tomorrow, but you can still hang out with us on Facebook Live from 3 until 4:30 tomorrow, just like you can hang out with us every day from 3 to 6 on 1410 ESPN Radio. All right, folks, until tomorrow, this has been the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Lakers tonight.
Dame time.
Dame time. Listen, I saw a tweet last night that if Dame Lillard continues on this tear and Carmelo Anthony plays like his days with the Nuggets and they continue to get contributions from the bench, I still call Lakers in 4.
Lakers in 6.
Lakers going for the sweep.
You take that bet?
I don't know what we're betting. PTO days. We both got plenty of those.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN.